actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $5,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Debt Relief Advocates now. 1-800-500-8980. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Debt Relief Advocates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-500-8980. That's 1-800-500-8980. 1-800-500-8980.
Frank, I really think we need an American Home Shield home warranty.
But we have homeowners insurance.
I'm worried about our home appliances and systems breaking down, like our air conditioner. Homeowners insurance doesn't cover any of that. A home warranty does.
But homeowners insurance covers stuff that might happen, like a meteor crashing into our house or a Bigfoot attack.
A Bigfoot attack?
There's a Bigfoot outside now.
That's the neighbor's dog.
Sounds like a Bigfoot.
Homeowners insurance can cover the things that might happen, like Bigfoot destroying your home. But an American Home Shield home warranty covers what will happen, like your home systems and appliances breaking down. Protect your budget from covered breakdowns of up to 21 major home systems and appliances, your air conditioner, plumbing, refrigerator, and more. For valuable free information, call 1-800-900-9517.
Pretty sure that's a Bigfoot.
For valuable free information about an American Home Shield home warranty, call 1-800-900-9517. That's 1-800-900-9517. 1-800-900-9517.
Many people lost 30 to 50% of their retirement savings in the last stock market crash by not being prepared. If you're retired or retiring soon, the time to protect what you have is now. Don't miss the next free Money Matters Retirement Seminar, 7 p.m. August 4th, Fort Worth Medical District, or 1 p.m. or 7 p.m. August 6th in Plano. Ken Murray was featured in Forbes. Clients that followed Ken's advice were out of the market in 2008. Reserve at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net or call 800-994-0302.
This is 660 AM. The Answer. Now, the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. There is also other news having to do with Planned Parenthood. Let me get to Greg in Plano. Greg, thanks very much for joining us. Welcome to the Wells Report. Hello.
Hey, Jon-David. You know, this story this week has just made me sick to my stomach. I'm even having nightmares over it. Seriously. You know, I'm the adoptive father of 4 kids. I couldn't have my own, so I had to adopt. And my children, and that was years ago, my two oldest ones have now had 3 grandchildren, and I've been around the development and the birth of these little babies. And it is absolutely beyond the pale that anybody could even think about doing away with one of them, let alone getting in there and slicing and dicing them in such a way so they can make the most money out of them. I mean, it is an outrage that we're walking in the sea of humanity full of people who think that stuff is okay, Jon-David. It's outrageous.
It is absolutely un-American. It is absolutely not. It's not us. And I don't know how to deal with it. All I can do, Greg, is report the news. I mean, my opinion is that this is as heinous a crime as can be. What we've done is this is a stain on our society. It's bigger than just Planned Parenthood. This is unbelievable. This is terrible. This is not something that can be defined, that it can't be defended. It's indefensible at any level. And what needs to happen is that we need to solve these problems, solve them. And how do you solve these problems? Well, as I brought up in yesterday's broadcast, you identify when life begins, and it is before a baby is born. At some point. And it is before there are intact hearts and livers and neurological brains and so on and so forth to study. It is before all of this. And Planned Parenthood is is the source for these body parts that are sold by what I consider to be absolute criminals in the United States working among us, like STEM Express. The precedent is clear. When we decided that stem cells, embryonic stem cells, would not be harvested for use in general use in the medical research realm, that covered hearts and body parts and feet and legs and so on. It covered everything. And everybody knows it. To look the other way is what has led us directly to this. We've been looking our other way to the point that now what we're doing is we're literally classifying these parts and putting them in neat little bowls and so on and so forth and selling them for dollars. And the people involved in that are doing so for a profit motive, which is why one of them says, hey, I want a Lamborghini. Which means that either she's going to get a Lamborghini at $50 a pop for these specimens, or there's money coming from a different source, a higher source in Planned Parenthood, which I suspect. The only way we'll ever find this out is if we have an investigation. The only way we'll have an investigation is if the Justice Department decides to do something about it, or if people do something about it on a local basis. The only way we'll get that is if Loretta Lynch, the current Attorney General of the United States, looks at her boss and says, "You're kidding, right?" and proceeds. Has she got those stones? I don't know. I do not know. There is, however, someone on the Republican side of the fence that has some explaining to do, at least according to Hot Air. That story's next. This is the Wells Report.
When the economy crashed in 2008, the Fed lowered interest rates. They've been low ever since. But now the economy's improving, and most experts believe the Fed will start raising interest rates very soon. That means you should refinance your mortgage now to pull cash out of your home at today's low rates, because once the Fed starts raising rates, they probably won't stop. So beat the Fed to the punch and refi your mortgage before it's too late by making the cash call at 855-875-CASH. Today, Cash Call Mortgage is offering a 15-year fix at 2.99% rate and APR with no closing costs. You have the chance to pull tens of thousands out of your home, lock in a low rate, and pay absolutely nothing out of pocket, but you have to act now. Cash Call Mortgage is designed to save. Call 855-875-CASH today.
Impact Mortgage Corp. DBA Cash Call Mortgage. 1 City Boulevard, West Suite 200, Orange, California 92868. Equal housing lender. Call 866-900-8744 for terms and restrictions. Subject to loan underwriting. Rates may change without notice. NMLS number 128231.
That's 855-875-CASH.
The following message contains a special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to urinate? Well, you're not alone. Most men will experience these prostate-related issues in their lifetime. Right now, the manufacturer of GoFlow Prostate is sending out risk-free supplies to the listeners of this station. And since GoFlow was developed by renowned MD Dr. Mitchell Fleischer, its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce frequent nighttime bathroom trips and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait, because supplies are limited. Call 1-800-668-0074. That's 1-800-668-0074 to get your risk-free supply. GoFlow Prostate is guaranteed to reduce your frequent trips to the bathroom and promote healthy urine flow. Plus, if you call right now, you'll even get free shipping with your risk-free supply of GoFlow Prostate. Dial 1-800-667-5138. Don't delay. If the phones are busy, call back. 1-800-667-5138. 1-800-667-5138.
94.9 KLTY and Dallas Baptist University are excited to welcome A Good Fight Night to Frisco. Friday night, August 14th, 2015 at Elevate Life Church. Fight Night is a fun date for couples of any age or stage. Marriage experts, Dr. Les and Leslie Parrott, interact with you in a night filled with humor and practical new strategies for turning conflict into deeper relationship. They're actually going to show you how conflict can bring you closer together, because if you're like them, you have the occasional cut and you don't want anything to come from that but a bond between you and your spouse. You're going to leave that evening with some fantastic things you can do starting that very night to improve your relationship. Les and Leslie might share a real fight or two of their own to help each of you. Register at FightNightTexas.com. The truth is, we do have distinct differences, and the more we have empathy for each other, the more grace we have for each other. Friday, August 14th, 2015. For more info, visit ElevateLife.com.
There was a lot to love about your timeshare, but when it's time to get out, there's a lot to love about ResortRelease.com. ResortRelease.com helps timeshare owners terminate their contracts and end all future payments guaranteed. Imagine how great it would feel to end all legal responsibility and never pay another timeshare fee. If you've tried to sell your timeshare, you know how impossible it can feel. Our 100% guarantee lets you legally and permanently walk away or you pay nothing. ResortRelease.com holds a Better Business Bureau A+ rating. We're the only timeshare cancellation company in the nation with their prestigious accreditation. Act now and avoid 2016's maintenance fees. Talk to one of ResortRelease.com's trusted expert asset managers and see if your property qualifies at 800-281-9595. That's 800-281-9595. Experience ResortRelease.com's easy cancellation process and free yourself from the burden of that timeshare. Call 800-281-9595. 800-281-9595 or visit resortrelease.com.
This plan is not insurance and does not meet minimum credible coverage requirements under the Affordable Care Act. This discount card program contains a 30-day cancellation and refund period. Administrator and benefits limited, Dallas, Texas, not available in all states.
You went to the dentist and he said you have to have a root canal and a crown. That's going to eat up almost $3,000. You could get it all for around $1,600. That's almost 50% less because you're a member of RealMedSavings.com. What is Real Med Savings? It's a membership like a discount club that lets you access huge networks of medical professionals for a whole lot less money. You save money because we've already negotiated the discounts. RealMedSavings.com costs less than $1 a day for the whole family. But Real Med Savings is not just for dental. It's doctor's consultations, vision, prescription drugs, and more. There's no long-term commitment and no salesman is going to call. Cancel anytime. Save real money on healthcare you need and use for everyday medical problems. Real medical savings for your entire family. RealMedSavings.com.
660 AM. The Answer. The Wells Report. Must hear radio on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. This is being reported by Hot Air, having to do with Planned Parenthood. A federal judge in San Francisco has issued a TRO against the Center for Medical Progress, who recorded undercover videos of Planned Parenthood, STEM Express, and National Abortion Federation personnel discussing the commerce, trafficking, obtaining, and all of the things necessary to provide baby body parts to this research industry, this biomedical research industry. And unfortunately, the taint of this heinous crime not only stains the society, but all who touch it. Until the eve of his presidential campaign, Jeb Bush was director of a philanthropy that gave tens of millions of dollars to Planned Parenthood and financed its advocacy of, quote, unrestricted access to abortion, unquote, around the world. The charity also provided money to global abortion providers while he sat on its board. In 2010, Jeb Bush was named one of the founding directors of the Bloomberg Family Foundation, established as a tax-exempt foundation to advance the vision of former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg. He resigned from the board at the end of 2014 to prepare his presidential campaign. The Bloomberg Philanthropies announced a $50 million undertaking to expand reproductive health, including lobbying foreign nations to loosen restrictions on abortion. Bloomberg announced a major partnership with Planned Parenthood Global to train and equip abortion activists in pro-life countries. Bloomberg announced a major partnership with Planned Parenthood Global to train, equip abortion activists in pro-life countries. So that's what America is exporting now? Is that what we're exporting now? In 2014, we started supporting local nonprofit organizations in Burkina Faso, Senegal, Uganda, and Nicaragua to advocate for better policies in their countries that will expand access to comprehensive reproductive health services, the euphemism for unrestricted abortion, said the foundation. These organizations will receive technical assistance from Planned Parenthood, the Planned Parenthood Federation of America Global Division, to help augment their capacity for effective advocacy. The United States of America, exporting abortion. Planned Parenthood President Cecile Richards greeted the news by saying that governments need to play a stronger role to ensure that all women have access to the health care they need, including abortion, no matter who they are, no matter where they live. How much responsibility does Jeb Bush really bear in this? Bloomberg Philanthropies noted in a press release the directors will serve in an advisory and oversight capacity. Bush earned $37,100 in compensation for his nearly 5 years of service. Bush's people are probably right that as a board member, he did not vote on every project, said Stephen Phelan, the director of mission communications at Human Life International. But Bloomberg has been so open about the foundation's goal for so long that it really stretches credibility to say that Bush or his people wouldn't have known that the foundation pushes abortion and other population control efforts. While visiting Democrat fundraisers for the sake of his presidential campaign, one of the Democrat fundraisers says he wanted to help turn Jeb Bush into the new Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt was a progressive politician, like Woodrow Wilson, like Barack Obama, which may be why Jeb Bush was so willing to praise President Obama in his policymaking. Bloomberg clarified his goals while accepting his Planned Parenthood award last year. You can't fight every battle, said Michael Bloomberg. The things that are high on my priority list are sensible gun laws. I obviously care about a woman's right to choose. Nobody's a bigger supporter of gay rights, he said. We need a good immigration bill that provides amnesty for 11 million illegal immigrants so we can continue our economy. Bloomberg has described abortion as a fundamental human right, elevating it to a make-or-break proposition. On this issue, you're either with us or against us. A Bush spokesman tried to brush the issue under the rug in April, saying that Governor Bush did not vote on or approve any individual projects or programs, and saying that there are areas where Bloomberg and Bush disagree. But as Phelan noted, it doesn't mean a whole lot given the size of the abortion effort. Bloomberg's known boosterism for abortion, and that partnerships were with known radical abortion groups like Planned Parenthood and Marie Stopes. Of course, all this ended last year when Bush began to prep for his presidential run. 7 months later, Bush reacted to the exposure of Planned Parenthood's business model of harvesting organs from children it dismembers. Here's what he said. CNN reports, during the visits to Carolina Pregnancy Center, Bush decried Planned Parenthood's potentially illegal harvesting of unborn children's body parts. It troubles me that you would sell body parts. It makes no sense to me. This is not a compassionate situation. Congress has every right to investigate these abuses. Additionally, said Bush, I think it's time for us to reevaluate all these programs. Government spends way too much to start with. There should be a thorough review of spending in Washington, D.C., particularly organizations that have deep political agendas. And that would be a part of my mission as president as well. It makes no difference. It makes no difference if Jeb Bush didn't sign each grant. What tells me is either he's willing to be a part of it, or as a minimum, he and Bloomberg's simpatico relationship on immigration and education outweighs his being involved in the sorts of things we saw in today's video. The Bush campaign provided hot air with this response to this article. Governor Bush's strong record of fostering a culture of life is clear, and he has called on Congress to investigate and defund Planned Parenthood in light of the recent alarming revelations about his practices. During his 8 years in office, Governor Bush took measures to protect innocent life by passing a partial birth abortion ban, fighting for a constitutional amendment requiring parental notifications, and doing everything possible to promote adoption. As a board member of the Bloomberg Philanthropies, Governor Bush did vote on or approve did not vote on or approve individual projects or programs. Governor Bush and Mayor Bloomberg disagree on several policy issues, including Planned Parenthood. They do share a passion for reforming education, which was Governor Bush's focus on the board. I'm just reporting the news. I wouldn't have anything to do with Planned Parenthood if I was running for frickin' dog catcher. I wouldn't have anything to do with Planned Parenthood if I wasn't running for frickin' dog catcher. Anything. I wouldn't have anything to do with anybody who did have anything to do with Planned Parenthood. Progressives come in Republican and Democrat stripes. Nothing that progressivism has ever touched has ever been successful. Ever. So now the information that we have will grind to a halt. And the politicians that have been supporting Planned Parenthood for political ends, so that Planned Parenthood could deliver female votes to these politicians, while these females delivered body parts for process and sale, become inextricably linked in the monstrous world of American politics. And all that can be done by we, the people of the United States, is to not vote for anyone that had anything to do with any of it. Unless, of course, you find some kind of justification for what Planned Parenthood is doing. Oh, we're using these tissues to work on Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease and all of these things. There has been no breakthrough in Alzheimer's or Parkinson's disease for the last 20 years. That's not going to work. What's the other justification du jour? There isn't one. Somebody ought to just say, well, hell, we're curious. Curious. Yeah. At least that would be true. It would be just as inexcusable, but so in the defense of the indefensible, we see the monstrosity of all of these political connections. All of these political connections being the direct result of a government that does far too much because it has ignored its founding documents and its founding papers. Because it spends far too much paying attention to political parties and making political deals to the detriment of all, except the political class, just as George Washington foretold. The framers of our nation had it exactly right. There are no donations to Planned Parenthood in the Constitution of the United States. There's no Health and Human Services Department to work hand in hand with these barbarous, murdering thugs. That's not in the Constitution of the United States. The federal government is not supposed to be this giant, all-knowing, all-seeing, all-powerful behemoth that affects every aspect of our lives. that sees in itself some freedom available to tax not just us, but our children and their children. They're not even born yet. But then we can see this government really doesn't give a damn much about who's born and who's not, does it? And even in that, the hypocrisy is ridiculous. Who's going to pay these bills? We get rid of all these babies. Who's going to pay these bills that these politicians are staking their lives and reputations on? We're voting for the wrong people. We're voting for people who work in league with monsters. At least Associated Press reported the news today that this idiot legalist savant, Judge William Orrick, has decided to stop the nonstop fusillade of reality and truth against Planned Parenthood, specializing in the millage of aborted children. Oh, we don't know that they're children. Well, then you have to explain why one of the persons in one of the videos says, look, another boy. We don't call tissue by gender names, do we? We, the people of the United States, have got to figure out whether or not we want to live in a country that does this. If we want to live in a country that does this, keep voting for the people you vote for. If you want to live in a country that doesn't stand for all of this, find new people. If you want to find new people, I suggest humbly that you listen to this broadcast, because pretty soon we'll be doing the Who's Next project. I doubt very sincerely that anybody showing up on that would be a pro-Planned Parenthood thug. And if they are, you'll hear it from me first. It's up to you. This is the Wells Report.
Dennis Prager believes the left will leave no stone unturned.
How impossible it has become to avoid leftism. There is nothing that is freed from their tentacle. They must intrude everywhere. The arrogance of people on the left is so deep because they know better.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at noon, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on 660 AM. The Answer.
This week on House Talk Today, we continue our Consumer Report series, Creating the Perfect Kitchen. This Saturday, Part 2, Define Your Style. Countertops, cabinets, sinks, and flooring. Plus, the Organic Garden segment, and of course, your phone calls. So find a cool spot, tune in, and enjoy a little House Talk Today.
Tune in to House Talk Today, tomorrow afternoon from 1 to 3 on 660 AM, The Answer.
This is Hugh Hewitt for townhall.com. The Colorado Springs Gazette has published a special report on the impact of marijuana legalization on the Centennial State, a special section called Clearing the Haze, piloted by their editorial page editor, Wayne Lageson. The results are not pretty. Legal marijuana has not raised a penny for the schools, as was promised, but has instead created an enormous addiction problem among young Coloradans. The state has also attracted cross-country criminals, and indeed even the cartels that proponents had hoped would be set back by legalization. And thousands of marijuana establishments have sprung up that are poorly regulated, and the dope is particularly strong. In short, it's a public policy disaster. And it all remains very illegal under federal law. All that needs to happen is for a president and an attorney general to take note of the facts on the ground and act. Look for this issue to raise its head in the Republican presidential debates, and expect Colorado to try and find a way to put this very bad genie back in its bottle. I'm Hugh Hewitt.
I'm Steve Sitkowski, a former Wall Street insider. I'm holding a book that will show you investing strategies which could help you earn the kind of money you've always dreamed about. And right now, I'm giving this book away for free. So who needs to read it? If you're in the middle of your career and worry you'll never have enough money to retire, you need to read this book. If you're already retired and your income isn't enough, you need to read this book. And if you don't want to be selling burgers at 80, you need to read this free book. It includes the strategy I use to make a 72% profit on a trade where the stock only moved 12%. You'll need at least $1 million to ever fully retire. If you're behind on that goal, you really need to read Trade Like the Pros. And you can for free by calling 1-800-708-4557. Skeptical that it will deliver results? It's a free book, so what do you have to lose? Find out how at 1-800-708-4557. 1-800-708-4557.
Hi, I'm Jeff Stewart with the Reliant Air Conditioning Consumer Update. Today's topic is the sales technician. Most companies use their service techs to sell new equipment on service calls. And the more equipment they sell, the more commission they make. But would you buy a new car from your mechanic? The fact is, the guy you're trusting to repair your system actually makes more money if he can sell you a new one. At Reliant Air Conditioning, you get a certified service technician, not a salesman. Our techs don't work on commission and they don't sell equipment. If you need a new system, we're the only company in town that tells you to get 2 other bids and then call us. Now you can save over $3,500 per system with Carrier's Cool Cash. So call 2 other companies, get their price, and then call Reliant Air Conditioning, and you'll see how we've been gimmick-free since '83. Our number's 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437 or ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Are you half Irish, a quarter Italian? With Ancestry DNA, you can find new and fascinating details about your ethnic origins. And from now until Saturday, Ancestry DNA is offering an unheard of discount off DNA kits when you visit tryancestry.dna.com. It's the lowest price ever for Ancestry DNA. Connect with distant relatives around the world. Visit tryancestry.dna.com now through Saturday. It's only at tryancestry.dna.com. That's TRY Ancestry.dna.com.
660 AM. The Answer. The Wells Report is on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Her name is Dawn from Dallas. Welcome to the Wells Report. Hi, Dawn.
Hey, JD. I can tell from your tone that you are really, angry about this, and I don't blame you, but I don't know really how we scream at Texans, because I think the Texans have come forth and have voted in some good people, with the exception of John Cornyn.
Well, and that's one of the great joys of living in Texas is that, as I have said time and time again, Dawn, Texans teach Americans how to be Americans, and what Americans need to learn from us today is that you can live in a more moral society. You can live in a society where people fight for the 10 Commandments in the Bible and the society that sprang from it. You can live in a state that does that. And
I agree with that, but whenever you've got the McConnells and you've got the Boehners that intimidate these guys and make their lives miserable just for speaking up and being conservative, you have to, if you walk this road, you had better be tough. And when you vote for people who want to walk this road, you have got to make sure that they're tough enough to do it. And not everybody is. I know that, but I think the Texans that we voted in are. But whenever you've got people from Kentucky voting in McConnell and people from Ohio voting in Boehner, we can't affect that as local Texans.
Well,
I know of.
Well, yeah, you can. What you do is you say, okay, so here's the situation. If indeed I cannot reach into Kentucky and affect getting Senator McConnell diselected, I can certainly look at the next senatorial candidate in the state of Texas and find somebody who feels of like mind that Mitch McConnell is a bad guy. And what you do is you vote for that person in Texas, and you invite your friends around the country to do the same thing. You can do it. But what I call for more Tea Party candidates. Tea Party candidates that believe in the Constitution of the United States, that believe in the Bill of Rights, that believe in all of the things our framers believe in. Elect those people, but only if they're tough enough. Elect those people for the sake of this nation. This is the Wells Report.
Hi, this is Andy Tuttle, host of Tuttle Talk every Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. right here on 660 AM. The Answer. We're in a real estate market where there's a lot of difficulty, but in difficulty, there's a lot of opportunity as well. Buying, selling, avoiding foreclosure, modifying your credit, all these things are so important to your livelihood. This show is dedicated to cutting through some of the big headlines that you see out there and teaching you how to win in any marketplace. Thank you for tuning in to Tuttle Talk every Sunday, 4 p.m. on 660 AM The Answer. I look forward to speaking with you.
The Good Contractors List is a free service designed to protect you. We meet all of our home service contractors face-to-face and feel so confident in our final choices that we back their work with a $10,000 guarantee. We go the extra mile in our interview process to make sure that the contractor is not only honest in quality, but able to offer the most affordable and fair rates. For instance, how do you pick who you call for air conditioning? Did you know that the air conditioning industry is commonly known for misdiagnosis and unneeded upselling? The higher their overhead, the more money they need to stay in business. So they flash tempting offers to get their foot in the door, and the sales game is on. The air conditioning companies we choose are simply stable and proven companies that offer the highest quality at fair and honest rates. And to protect you, they've all agreed to do an absolutely free second opinion if you're being told that you have to replace your air conditioning unit. If you need AC or any other type of home service, visit thegoodcontractorslist.com first.
Good Contractors List.
Your 2-year-old has a fever and needs antibiotics. Trouble is, it's 3 a.m. and the doctor's office is closed, so you'll need to pack up all the kids and drive to the ER. But not anymore. If you have Teladoc from MyDiscountHealth.com, just call the toll-free number 24/7. You'll speak to a board-certified, state-licensed doctor who, if needed, can write a prescription right over the phone. MyDiscountHealth.com includes Teladoc with 11 other services, including dental, vision, and prescription discounts, all for less than $25 a month. Learn more by calling toll-free 844-450-2273. That's 844-450-2273. This plan is not health insurance and does not replace health insurance. Members pay participating providers directly and receive discounts immediately. Savings varies by provider and service. Cancel within 30 days and get a full refund less processing fee. Discount Medical Plan Organization is Carrington International Corp., Frisco, Texas. This plan is not available in all areas. Call 844-450-2273 or go to MyDiscountHealth.com.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group. On the NASDAQ as SALM. KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. A section of an airplane wings on its way to France to be tested. It washed up on the shore of Reunion Island. It may have belonged to the Malaysian airliner, which vanished more than a year ago.
Johnny Begg is the man of the moment on the tiny Indian Ocean island of Reunion. It was he that found the wing section, thought to belong to MH370, washed up on the beach. That's when I saw it. I went down to the water to see if it was plane debris, and I could see that it was. Then I had a look at the material itself, and it was smooth.
David Bowden of Sky News reporting. The Coast Guard calls off its search for a pair of missing teenage boaters off of Florida. WrestleMania fans mourning the loss of Rowdy Roddy Piper. The WWE Hall of Famer had a heart attack. He and Hulk Hogan got into it back in '96.
Look at the intensity in the face of Roddy Piper. The man means business.
Courtesy World Wrestling Entertainment, Piper was 61. Fox News, we report, you decide.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. The Mike Gallagher Show.
Oh, great. A new study says using your cell phone can cause cancer. The researchers say using your phone for 20 minutes a day for 5 years increases your risk of brain tumors. Could you ever give up your phone? Also, Zimbabwe is asking for the extradition of the dentist who killed Cecil the Lion. Should the Obama administration honor this request?
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 10, right before Dennis Prager at noon on 660 AM. The Answer.
Dennis Gibbs, the boat guy, here with the Big Boat and Outdoor Show. It's boating time, folks, so don't forget to tune in to the only boating talk show on 660 AM The Answer every Saturday evening from 6 to 7 p.m. Brought to you by BoatSelect.com, the site with thousands of boats for sale, or list your boat for free on BoatSelect.com. I know you have questions about your boat or one you're buying. Email those questions to me at BigBoatShow@yahoo.com.
Hi, this is Jon-David Wells from the Wells Report for my good friend Walt Parker. Walter, you know, you picked kind of a silly name for a very serious business.
Yes, I hear that a lot, JD. But our goal is to allow our customers to not get sick when they are investing. We give them the education they need to make confident decisions about their future. Here are my personal top 5 reasons how InvestingMakesMeSick.com can help you. 1, there's more to investing than stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and annuities. 2, every client is important to us. 3, knowledge is power, and we can provide that knowledge. 4, every investor is different, We have many different options for each person. 5, we value your time and offer our We Come to You service.
What are your top 5 reasons for investing? Schedule an appointment with Walt Parker and his team at 972-463-3833. That's 972-463-3833. Or check out their all-new website at investingmakesmesick.com. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Titan Securities. Member of FINRA SIPC. Investment subject to suitability. Risk and expenses may apply. Investingmakesmesick.com and Titan Securities are not affiliated.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. If I go somewhere and I love it, I'll come back. If I love it twice, I'll keep coming back. And if there's a place I've continued to walk into for more than 20 years, I must love them. So that means I must love Dallas Gold and Silver Exchange. You would be correct about that. Every time it's time to anniversary shop or birthday shop, or maybe get into that investing in gold and silver thing, which everybody should be doing just at least a little bit of, they'll tell you how. They'll show you the ropes. At Dallas Gold and Silver Exchange, make it your headquarters for all things gold, silver, jewelry, even collectibles like rare coins. Every location of Dallas Gold and Silver Exchange is different, and there's 7 of them. So why don't you find the one that's closest to you? Dallas Gold and Silver Exchange, DGSE.com. Fantastic stuff on the shelves. They'll give you top dollar for jewelry you don't want anymore. So it's just a great place to go. Good people, great prices, fantastic stuff. To jewelry shop, to diamond shop, to gold and silver invest, all at Dallas Gold and Silver Exchange. DGSE.com. DGSE.com.
Honey, I'm really worried about our retirement funds.
Oh, me too. We lost so much value in the recession in the stock market. I'm worried we won't have enough to retire.
Jim next door told me that he had set up a new kind of IRA with the Gold Silver Group. He said how simple and safe it was. It's a private storage IRA, and we could have real gold and silver in our hands.
Really? You mean we can actually see it and touch it?
Absolutely. Jim said we could have all the benefits of an IRA to help build our retirement income. Bottom line, we would own a real tangible asset, and we would have the security of knowing we're protected no matter what the economy does. What do you think?
I think we need to find out how to get our own private storage IRA. We need to call the Gold Silver Group right now.
Are you ready to protect your future? Call 800-296-7609 now to find out how easy and safe it is to set up a private storage IRA with Gold Silver Group, and find out how you can qualify for up to $700 in free silver. All transactions are privately delivered and fully insured. Please call us now. 800-296-7609. 800-296-7609.
This plan is not insurance and does not meet minimum credible coverage requirements under the Affordable Care Act. This discount card program contains a 30-day cancellation and refund period. Administrator and benefits limited. Dallas, Texas, not available in all states.
I'm a mother. When my kids were growing up, I can't tell you how many times they had a cold, an ear, or sinus infection. I already knew it was the same thing one of the other kids had 3 months before. Could I get a doctor to call me at home? No, I had to take off work, or worse, bundle all the other kids and go to the doctor's office. Well, not anymore. RealMedSavings.com is like a discount club for healthcare. At RealMedSavings.com, you just call the 800 number and a board-certified doctor calls you back in about 15 minutes, talks to you about what it is, and then calls in a prescription if it's needed. You pay nothing for this doctor's call because you're a member of the club. RealMedSavings.com is not insurance, just real savings on everyday medical problems for your whole family. Go to RealMedSavings.com. Save money and time. RealMedSavings.com. It's worth going there.
You know, when you wake up feeling sore, whether it's shoulder pain, hip pain, low back issues, that tells you that your bed probably needs to be replaced. You know, if you're a side sleeper and your bed is too firm and it's compressing the shoulders or the hips, it causes torsional rotation, which is essentially twisting of the body. And what we do with a Sovereign bed is we fit you for a bed that is going to hold your body in a neutral position. Sovereign European Sleep Systems, Inwood and Lovers in Dallas. Learn more at sovn.com.
660 AM The Answer. 660 AMTheAnswer.com. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. How are you doing? I hope very well. We have a policy that breaking news changes everything. I'm sorry to decorate Friday evening with what we had to talk about that first hour, but we have to fix that. We just absolutely have to fix it, and we're the only people that can. And I hope you got what I was trying to say. You know, Don from Dallas said, how do we have anything to do with Mitch McConnell getting reelected in Kentucky? Well, what you need to do is you need to implore everybody you know around the country to elect not necessarily the stalwart senator that has been untouchable for the last God knows how many terms, but is a Mitch McConnell devotee. You make Mitch McConnell an election year issue. You say, what are you going to do about Mitch McConnell? Mitch McConnell is a Democrat. I want you to listen to what the junior senator from the state of Texas had to say when he was talking about how we sent all these Republicans to Washington, D.C., and basically nothing's changed. Why should I send you to Washington, D.C. if nothing's going to change? And then you find somebody that can win who is a Tea Party candidate. And you think long and hard about voting for that person. And then you let that person go to Washington, D.C. and ask Mitch McConnell, so Mitch, you want your job or what? You got to find people that are tough. You got to find people that are equal to that task. They're out there, especially in Texas. They're out there. I know a couple of them. So every year, like clockwork, the Electric Reliability Council of Texas takes to the press, the airwaves, the media, and says they are incompetent. Yeah. What they do is they say, hey, we need you to save electricity for the environment. We've got to reduce our carbon footprint. We need you to use less electricity. So far, what they've come up with is turn off all unnecessary lights, appliances, and electronic equipment. When you get home, close blinds and drapes that get direct sun. Set air conditioning thermostats to 78 degrees or higher and use fans to cool the air. When away from home, set air conditioning thermostats to 85 degrees. Turn all fans off before you leave. Block the sun by closing blinds or drapes on windows that will get direct sun. Don't use your dishwasher, laundry equipment, hair dryers, coffee makers, or other home appliances during the peak hours of 3 to 7 p.m. Avoid opening refrigerators or freezers more than necessary. Use microwaves for cooking instead of an electric range or oven. Set your pool pump to run in the early morning or late evening, not during peak demand hours. And every single year, as the Electric Reliability Council of Texas implores you to do all of these things to save energy, reduce our carbon footprint, make it possible for us not to pollute by running those evil power generation plants. I take to the airwaves and tell them to mind their own flipping business. Because the Electric Reliability Council of Texas has absolutely, without doubt, no business whatsoever telling us to do anything regarding a service that we already pay through the nose for. The Electric Reliability Council of Texas needs to sit down and shut up. It's none of their damn business if I turn off unnecessary lights. It's none of their business if I close the blinds and drapes to get rid of all of that nasty direct sun, that provides vitamin D for my growing kids. And oh, by the way, allows me to live in a cheery place where life is good and I can see the sunshine. I'm not going to set my air conditioning thermostat to 78 degrees or higher and then use fans to cool the air. The fans don't cool the air. The fans move the air, and moving 78-degree air into my sweaty face is not what I want to do when I sit in my house. You see, my sweat reacts with the 78-degree air and gives me the feeling of cooling. It has nothing to do with cooling the air. And if they don't know that, they don't need to be a part of the Electric Reliability Council of Texas because they're stupid. While I have no problem setting the thermostats warmer when you leave home, that's all well and good. But if I'm going out for a weekend, thanks, once again, I'll pay the freight for the electricity I use. Thank you very much. And I'll use my dishwasher, laundry equipment, hair dryers, coffee makers, home appliances anytime I choose. I will open my refrigerators or freezers just as often as necessary. I will use electric ranges or ovens if I need to. If I can use a microwave, I will. But I'm not going to use microwaves to build any of the things that I build in my electric range. In point of fact, I do have a gas cooktop, and I do indeed intend to replace my electric oven with a gas one at my earliest opportunity. I don't have a pool, so I don't have to worry about that. But Jon-David, we'll run out of electricity, and we'll have those dreaded brownouts. Yeah, I know about those dreaded brownouts. One of them burned up one of my kids' very expensive toys. And oh, by the way, I sent a bill to ERCOT for it. Never heard anything back from it, but I sent them a bill because what they did was they devastated a lot of my electronic equipment in my house because they turned off my house. It's none of their business to turn off my house. You know why they turned off my house? Well, because they didn't have enough electricity and they were going to have a problem. Why didn't they have enough electricity? Well, because we were using too much. No. They were not generating enough. What? Yeah, you see, electricity is not like making bread. It's not like you don't have enough bread if you don't have enough dough. Electricity is either on or off. The reason they want you to stop using as much electricity is so they don't have to fire up another power generation plant. You see, because we don't have a regulated public utility anymore whose job is to break even, we now have companies running our electricity grid that need to make a profit so that their stockholders can say, wow, nice dividend. That's it. That's the whole thing. If they can get you, if they can actually swindle you into believing that you need to use less electricity, they don't have to generate as much. And oh, by the way, when they do run out of electricity because they don't generate enough, you don't get upset. You just blame the evil us for using too much electricity while you write a check for $250 to get your son's Wii game fixed because the power supply just zorched because somebody turned off your electricity. We don't live in a country where somebody can turn off your electricity because they don't want to fire up another generating plant. We don't live in North Korea. We live in Texas, where if you need more electricity, if you want to have your house a little bit cooler than 78 degrees, you go out and get yourself a decent enough job so you can afford to have cooler air in your house than 78 degrees. And it's none of ERCOT's business whether you do or don't. If ERCOT can't handle the job, we'll, by God, replace them. This ridiculous and stupid, oh, I know, we'll deregulate the electrical grid was the biggest mistake, the biggest swindle in the history of the state of Texas. Billions upon billions of dollars have been wasted because somebody convinced us to deregulate our electrical grid. And the people that took it over can't run it without telling us to stop using the product they are charged with generating. You're cutting into our profit margin. I don't care whether I cut into your profit margin. Well, we'll just turn off your house anyway. Try it. Seriously, try it. Well, we can do it, you know. Yeah, I know that you put those smart meters on there. I know that you can turn my electricity down so that my appliances malfunction. I know you can do that. One of these days, you're going to do that with the wrong person, and they're going to not just send you a bill, they're going to send you a lawsuit. which they should. The only reason that there's ever a lack of electricity has nothing to do with the temperature. It has solely to do with whether or not somebody can goose the profit margin a little bit in one of these ERCOT control rooms somewhere. They've turned this into a game of use the last available watt so that we don't have to generate any extra ones. And why are they doing it? Because it's an interesting mental puzzle? No, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to reduce expenses to generate the electricity that Texans need to live comfortably. And what they want us to do is they want us to feel guilty about actually having air that's cooler than 78 degrees. You're out of your flippin' mind. Out of your mind. Out of your mind. This is a swindle that has cost we, the people of Texas, billions of dollars. And while you're electing all of those Tea Party people that I keep talking about, you make sure that they go down to Austin, Texas, and they say, you know what we need to do? We need to sunset the Electric Reliability Council of Texas. We need to vote them out of business because they can't give us enough electricity to be able to do their job without telling us to stop using the product that they are supposed to be selling. They are not the Electric Reliability Council of Texas. They are the Electric Skinflint Save Every Dime, even if it makes you sweat in your own living room, Council of Texas. And every time they ask you to turn off something in your house, or every time they tell you that they're going to be rolling brownouts, it's because they're incompetent, not that you have used too much electricity or that your neighbors have used too much electricity. There. A moment of electrical clarity from the Electric I'm Not Going to Play Your Stupid Game Council of Texas. This is the Wells Report.
Let's make an offer on that Aspen Street house.
That one doesn't have a home warranty.
Is that a problem?
Not if you like paying through the nose on home system breakdowns.
Oh, what do you mean?
Like if the air conditioner quits, want to pay for a new one? Do you know how to fix the water heater, the plumbing?
Got it. Let's only look at places with home warranties.
A home warranty from American Home Shield protects homeowners against unexpected covered repairs and breakdowns of major home systems and appliances. Who would want to move into a new home without one? Just ask your local real estate professional. Or for complimentary helpful information about a home warranty from American Home Shield, call now at 1-800-771-2898. Service requests are subject to a fee for each trade call. Some exclusions and limitations apply. An American Home Shield home warranty instantly gives home buyers confidence in their purchase. For complimentary helpful information, including terms, rates, and coverage, call 1-800-771-2898. 1-800-771-2898.
This isn't a commercial. It's a gift to anyone who's sick and tired of dealing with their hearing loss. Because we'll give everyone who calls a risk-free trial of a life-changing hearing breakthrough called Listen Clear. Not only that, we'll also give you free shipping and free batteries for life. But you must call now. 1-800-943-2757. Listen Clear is precisely designed by top audio engineers to fit your ear almost invisibly. And you can adjust Listen Clear to find the perfect way to hear everything, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. Listen Clear is so invisible, people may not even know you're wearing it. And it's so lightweight, you may even forget you're wearing it too. So if you're sick of dealing with your hearing loss, let us give you a 100% risk-free home trial with free shipping and free batteries for life. For free information, call now. 1-800-943-2757. That's 1-800-943-2757. 1-800-943-2757.
Warning, if you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $5,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Debt Relief Advocates now. 1-800-500-8980. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Debt Relief Advocates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible, without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-500-8980. That's 1-800-500-8980. 1-800-500-8980.
Finally, the rain appears to be over and summer is upon us. The recent rains have caused the clay soil to expand and raise some homes with foundation problems, making them appear to be fixed. I'm Tom Kidd, engineering graduate of Texas A&M and owner of Structured Foundation Repairs. Our number is 972-484-1200. Listen, heavy rain swelling the clay soil and raising homes with foundation problems is like pumping air into a tire with a slow leak. It may look like the tire is fixed, but it is still leaking air and will eventually go flat again. If you think this might be happening with your home, call Structured Foundation Repairs today for a free, comprehensive evaluation of your foundation. We'll let you know if you have a foundation problem or if you're just experiencing normal seasonal movement. We'll also check to see if you have a drainage problem around your home and make recommendations if the drainage should be improved. We're fully insured and our peers come back by a lifetime transferable warranty. So if you have questions about your foundation or think you might have a drainage problem, call Structured Foundation Repairs today at 972-484-1200 or click structuredfoundation.com.
Okay, you're on. We are here live from Niagara Falls for this year's Spring Festival. Wait, what?
That'll do it.
Great job, Will. You two, what are you doing?
Sorry, Canada. You had a leak.
Look, it's Will Nell and Fred Thompson from American Leak Detection.
American Leak Detection.
Guys, come over here. Come here. All right. Here with me now are the guys with American Leak Detection. Please explain yourselves.
Well, at American Leak Detection, we have been detecting and repairing hidden leaks in your home for more than 25 years, big or small.
And all without damaging your home. We can even repair leaks in your swimming pools. Hey, looks like DFW needs us. Just go to AmericanLeakDetection.com to schedule us to come out. That's AmericanLeakDetection.com.
660 AM, The Answer. If it's important to you, we're talking about it right now on The Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. So by all means, do yourself a big favor, please. Tell your friends to ignore this gobbledygooky and crap from the Electric Reliability Council of Texas. And as a matter of fact, write a letter of complaint. You know, we outnumber them, right? This is like 25 people in an office somewhere. The Electric Reliability Council of Texas, like 25 people. Why in heaven's name are they telling us what appliances to use and in what order? It's none of their damn business. Their job is to not tell us how to live. Their job is to not tell us what temperature our air in our house should be. It's none of their business. Their job is to provide us with an uninterrupted flow of electricity to run the things in our houses that we pay through the nose to enjoy. It's stupid to have an air conditioning system in your house that you only use part of the time because some clown at the Electrical Reliability Council of Texas wants you to make it possible so that he doesn't have to fire up another power generating plant and spend money that he would rather see in a nice fat bonus at the end of the quarter. Oh yeah, it's hey, if you guys can keep swindling those neighbors of yours, yeah. I guarantee you that the people who sit in those control rooms, I guarantee you the control room is not 78 degrees. Well, it's the electronic equipment. No, it's not the electronic equipment. The electronic equipment that you're using is running on 24 volts and no amps whatsoever. We don't use the electricity the way we used to. Electronic equipment doesn't generate heat the way it used to. No, what you're doing is you're telling us to live a life that you don't lead. Well, I'm sorry, that's not going to work. I guarantee you that your house at home is not at 78 degrees, and I guarantee you you're not sitting in front of a fan hoping that mysteriously 78-degree air is going to cool off by moving it. No, 78-degree air will feel cooler because it hits the sweat on your face. I'm sorry. I don't want to sit in my living room and sweat. If I want to sweat, I'll go out on the back porch. Then I might sit in front of a fan. It's none of their business. Their business is to keep the electricity going. If they can't keep the electricity going, they need to get out of the business because they're not the Electric Reliability Council of Texas at all. They're the electric we're swindling you business, or Council of Texas, in an effort to try to make sure that we get a fat bonus check this year or this quarter. And why I'm the only person that talks about this, I have no idea. I have no idea why I'm the only one. I guess I'm the only one that was paying attention that day in physics class when they explained electricity. It's either on or it's not on. If you overload, it will turn off. How do you overload something that has enough generating capacity not to be overloaded? Well, the answer is you don't. Oh, well then how come it overloads? Because someone is making a really fat estimate that you're not going to use as much electricity as they're projecting. That would cost them to have to fire up another plant. That's expensive stuff. I got that. But you know what? My electricity bill is plenty expensive too. And not only will I absolutely flipping not allow people to turn off my electricity for the sake of their profit margin without a fight, I'm not going to let them do it to you either. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
Dennis Gibbs, the boat guy, here with the Big Boat and Outdoor Show. It's boating time, folks, so don't forget to tune in to the only boating talk show on 660 AM The Answer every Saturday evening from 6 to 7 p.m. Brought to you by BoatSelect.com, the site with thousands of boats for sale, or list your boat for free on BoatSelect.com. I know you have questions about your boat or one you're buying. Email those questions to me at BigBoatShow@yahoo.com.
For almost 2 decades, financial advisor and educator Rick Poston with Empowered Wealth Financial Services has provided peace of mind to thousands who see or hear him in the media or read his work. Rick has been chosen by Bloomberg Business Week magazine as one of the top 20 game-changing financial advisors in the country. A fan of Rick's profound teaching, Brian Tracy, world-renowned business leader, speaker, and best-selling author, has asked Rick to co-author his newest book entitled The Winning Way, where Rick will share with his fans some of the principles that allow Rick's clients to continue on their winning way. If you're looking to break away from that same old investment plan that has provided you with one too many disappointments, stay tuned to 660 AM The Answer every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock for the most educational hour on financial talk radio with Empowered Wealth Radio, live, or call 469-361-4020.
This is Hugh Hewitt for townhall.com. The Colorado Springs Gazette has published a special report on the impact of marijuana legalization on the Centennial State, a special section called Clearing the Haze, piloted by their editorial page editor, Wayne Lageson. The results are not pretty. Legal marijuana has not raised a penny for the schools, as was promised, but has instead created an enormous addiction problem among young Coloradans. The state has also attracted cross-country criminals, and indeed even the cartels that proponents had hoped would be set back by legalization. And thousands of marijuana establishments have sprung up that are poorly regulated, and the dope is particularly strong. In short, it's a public policy disaster. And it all remains very illegal under federal law. All that needs to happen is for a president and an attorney general to take note of the facts on the ground and act. Look for this issue to raise its head in the Republican presidential debates, and expect Colorado to try and find a way to put this very bad genie back in its bottle. I'm Hugh Hewitt.
Here it is, Texas summer. Lots of high temperatures, some rain and some periods of no rain, and put it all together, it makes a real challenge for your soil, your foundation, And if your foundation is doing weird things, or you suspect that it is because you got cracks in the walls or sheetrock or doors that are sticking or floors that don't quite look right, not matching up, call Abacus Foundation Repair. It's the best first call you can make and the only call you need to make. Abacus Foundation Repair. They're going to bring somebody out to map the house with the skill of an engineer, looking for possible causes like plumbing issues so the problem doesn't come back. Let's get on the phone with them right now. 972-406-9000. 972-406-9000. North Texas homeowners trust Abacus, the only company offering Millennium composite pilings for the strongest foundation solution. They're going to stay with you every step of the way. Work is guaranteed. Certified foundation guy on site at all times. You will be taken care of. It's transferable to new owners. 972-406-9000. 972-406-9000 or abacusfoundationrepair.com.
You've been thinking about switching to solar. Don't wait much longer or you'll miss out on this year's federal tax credit. Move quickly because the tide is turning. Solar power is becoming a threat to big energy profits. In fact, some power companies are even pushing for extra fees to make up for lost revenue. Warning, you must have your solar system up and running by midnight December 31st or you'll miss out on this year's federal tax credit. Energy prices are expected to increase by as much as 40% in the near future. Go solar now with no down payment, interest, or payments for a whole year. You can afford it because we finance. Get your government money and save big every month. Big Energy is getting nervous and the door of opportunity is about to slam shut. Paying $150 a month or more on energy bills? Then call 1-800-MY-SOLAR now for a free in-home assessment. 1-800-MY-SOLAR.
My home, my savings, 1-800-MY-SOLAR.
Hi, I'm Larry Patterson, owner of Glass Doctor. In our disposable society, we're conditioned to throw out the whole thing when just one part goes bad. Like when the insulated glass windows in your home get condensation between the panes. You don't need to replace the whole window. The specialists at Glass Doctor can install new insulated glass in your existing frames with a lifetime warranty for a lot less than you might think. To see how quick and easy it is, visit glassdoctor.com today. That's glassdoctor.com.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your paint. Oh, yeah!
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. Now, by popular demand, The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
Oh! You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. In barely 2 hours, 2 little measly hours, we will open up the airwaves to the Friday Flameout so you can complain at the top of your lungs. And that's something I suggest you do. Seriously. 866-660-5759 will be the telephone number. 866-660-5759. So you heard about that Iranian nuclear deal, right? Yeah. And you heard that everybody is pretty sure that the whole thing should go down in flames, right? And the reason it should go down in flames there are multiple reasons for it. Let me give you the basic ones. One, it involves the American Congress agreeing to deals between the IAEA and Iran that we do not get to know the contents of. That should be a disqualifier right there. Two, the President of the United States hustled that unbelievably stupid deal through the Security Council of the United Nations without letting the Congress have their say first, which means he's holding the Congress in contempt. The Congress should return the favor. Three, why in heaven's name would you do business with anybody that yells death to your country on a regular basis? It's sort of like the answer to every beauty pageant in the history of women. What do you hope for? World peace? World peace. It's like, what do you want in Tehran, Iran right this minute? Death to America. Yeah, we're gonna give them a nuclear weapon. Yeah, the capitalists will sell us the rope we hang them with. Joseph Stalin. Idiots. Well, if you need another reason, here's a couple of other reasons. Just a month and a half after the Iran nuclear deal was signed in Vienna Sausage on July 14th, the Islamic Republic of Iran announced yesterday it's planning to build 2 new nuclear facilities in its southeastern Makran region on the Indian Ocean. Yes. I was just trying to see if you were paying attention.
We are.
Did everybody hear what you said? Nobody heard what you said but me? So everybody thinks I'm having a stroke. Is that right?
Just like normal.
Yeah, just like normal. You're a butt. Where was I? Oh, yeah.
Vienna sausage.
Yeah. Yes, that was right. The nuclear deal was signed in Vienna Sausage on July 14th. Mohammed Ahmadiyyan, the deputy head of the Atomic Energy Organization of Iran, announced plans as quoted by the semi-official Fars news agency. You know, I'm wondering if when they celebrate their 40th anniversary, if that agency will become the old Fars news agency. Anyway, quote, 2 100-megawatt nuclear reactors will be constructed on Makran coastline of the Sea of Oman to generate electricity and to produce plutonium, Ahmadiyyan declared. Okay, well, he didn't say anything about the plutonium, but the reactors will be there to produce plutonium. Describing the project, he said, at present, necessary studies to build the 2 power plants are being carried out through the cooperation with 17 research institutes and consulting engineers companies. See, that's why they're refining their uranium stocks. That's why they're doing all of that, so that they can put these control rods in these reactors that will generate a higher plutonium count. Yeah, so that they can use the plutonium for implosion weapons. Yeah, you see, implosion weapons are the first stage of a thermonuclear weapon. Yeah. Yeah, you got to have an atomic bomb to touch off a hydrogen bomb. And you can't do it with uranium. At least in a small enough package to be able to fly in a missile. Are you paying attention yet? No? Okay. Anyway, so what they're going to do is they're going to come up with a couple of 100 megawatt nuclear plutonium generators, which will be very, very helpful for their nuclear enterprise. Let's see. And then there's this. Oh, this is the part that I like. So should we continue doing these deals with these people that rub 2 new nuclear power plants in your face after you? Yeah, okay. Then there's this. Senior Iranian officials are accusing the Obama administration about lying about the details of the recent nuclear accord in order to soothe fears among U.S. lawmakers and American citizens about the implications of the deal, which will release billions of dollars to the Islamic Republic while temporarily freezing its nuclear program, according to reports from Iran's state-controlled media. Right. As Secretary of State John Kerry and other senior Obama administration figures launched a full-court press to convince Congress to approve the deal, Iranian leaders are dismissing the rhetoric as aimed at domestic consumption. In fact, the Washington Free Beacon says what the Obama administration is doing, they are quoting Iran as saying what the Obama administration is doing is lying about the nuclear deal to downplay the Iranian victory over the Americans. Kerry and top administration officials have been defending the deal on Capitol Hill in recent days, claiming that it will rein in the Islamic Republic's contested nuclear program and fix its nuclear breakout period, the time required for it to obtain the amount of highly enriched uranium necessary for a nuclear weapon at one per year. The breakout is supposed to be 1 year. See, this ignores certain facts. that an enriched uranium bomb was dropped on Hiroshima. You do realize, of course, that the enriched uranium bomb filled with U-235 was never tested except over the target, right? That means that the people who came up with the U-235 uranium bomb that blew up Hiroshima, the physicists were so sure that it was going to work, they didn't need to test it. You do know that, right? Yeah. Okay, so let me turn this. All right. So anyway, so what we were saying was, before we so boldly, we were so interrupted. I'm sorry, I just made a small little mistake in this adjustment, this small adjustment here. Testing 1, 2, 3, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. I just realized that I was blowing out the people who were watching on television. Anyway, so they really don't need any kind of breakout period. The breakout period is whether they have sufficiently enriched uranium to build the little boy bomb, which they probably do already, as if they haven't done it already. The only thing that makes any sense out of any of this is that they already have they already have nuclear warheads in stock. Anyway, I won't scare you any more than I have to. Critics have noted the deal provides Iran with billions of dollars in sanctions relief that could be spent on terrorism and lifts bans on Iran's export of weapons and construction of ballistic missiles. When addressing claims this week by the administration that the deal shuts down Tehran's nuclear infrastructure, Iranian officials scoffed and said that the Obama administration is misleading the public in order to sell the deal. Do you believe that President Obama would stoop so low as to lie to us just to move forward with a political imperative? 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. Do you believe the president would lie to us in order to get a political project finished? 866-660-5759. Oh, wait. He's already done that once, hasn't he? Yeah, that Obamacare thing. Yeah. Yeah, he said you could keep your doctor when he knew you weren't going to be able to keep your doctor. Yeah, he said that the cost was going to go down when he knew it was going to go up. Yeah, he lied to make that happen. That's exactly what he did. Lied to make that happen. Lied to make that happen. You don't think he would lie to make this treaty happen, do you? You don't think the president would lie to us, do you? Just to get this treaty signed and passed off on. You don't think he would. Hamid Bajadinahad. Okay, Bajadinahad. Okay, Bajadinahad. There it is. Hamid Bajadinahad. No, Bajadinahad, an official with the Iranian Foreign Ministry and one of the country's nuclear negotiators, scoffed that the Obama administration's comments were meant to placate an American domestic audience. The remarks by the Western officials are ambiguous comments which are merely uttered for domestic use, and therefore we should say there is no ambiguity in this nuclear agreement. Yeah. Biden said that the Obama administration is misleading Americans about the deal in order to calm opponents in Congress and the Zionist lobbies to soothe the internal conditions prevailing over debates on the nuclear agreement in that country. Do you agree? Is that really what's happening? 866-660-5759. Congress is going to spend upwards of 60 days to review the deal, which it may reject. The Iranian parliament is doing the same thing. During a meeting on Wednesday with Laurent Fabius, the French foreign minister, President Hassan Rouhani of Iran urged world powers to keep its commitments under the deal. These include lifting sanctions on the nearly $100 billion financial empire of the Iranian Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei and agreeing to bar American inspectors from all Iranian nuclear sites. The Iranian government is standing strong on the path of implementing the agreement. We will remain committed to our undertakings as long as the other side remains loyal to its obligations. That's another reason why, of course, the Congress needs to turn down this deal, because Americans aren't allowed to participate in the inspection of Iranian facilities. Okay, no deal. Rouhani said the agreement would help Iran become a key player on the international stage because, as we all know, nothing puts you on the center of the international stage like threatening somebody else with a nuclear weapon. This agreement is not against any country, and our cooperation and consultations to settle the regional problems, including the fight against terrorism, humanitarian aids, materialization of nations' demands, can prove it. What? This agreement is not against any country, and our cooperation and consultations to settle the regional problems, including the fight against terrorism, humanitarian aids, and materialization of nations' demands, can prove it. Oh. Uh-huh. What about killing those Jews? Oh, well, that's obvious. That's the first thing that has to happen. Yeah. Well, that's after you kill all the Jews. Is that right? Yes. Okay. The protesters chanted slogans such as AIDS, a French gift to Iran, we neither forgive nor forget, Fabius, servant of the U.S., spy of Israel, no welcome to AIDS Lord, according to Fars. Yeah. Let me get to Kurt in Bedford, Texas. Kurt, welcome to the Wells Report. Hey.
Thank you, Mr. Wells. Hey, and not just Obamacare. Look at all the other issues that Mr. Obama's lied about. The IRS there's not a smidgen of problem there.
That was just a miscalculation. That wasn't an outright lie.
Oh yeah, he's been an outright liar on many issues, and so at this point, if he tells us that this is a good deal and this will keep us safe, now please explain to me. Okay, you know somebody, they've lied to you on every business dealing, every personal relationship item, and all of a sudden one day they tell you something, and you're going to believe it?
I think you should believe everything that President Obama says as you dig that fallout shelter in your backyard.
Yeah, or move to a mountain range that is not a target. And also, this is really important. The Democratic Party.
Hang on a second. Stand by.
Vociferously.
Hey, Kurt, hang on a second. If this is really important, I'm going to give you more time. So just stay right where you are, and we will finish this conversation on the other side of this break, which we will take right this very moment. More with Kurt on the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer.
Dennis Prager believes the left will leave no stone unturned.
How impossible it has become to avoid leftism. There is nothing that is freed from their tentacle. They must intrude everywhere. The arrogance of people on the left is so deep because they know better.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at noon, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on 660 AM The Answer.
This week on House Talk Today, we continue our Consumer Report series, Creating the Perfect Kitchen. This Saturday, Part 2, Define Your Style. Countertops, cabinets, sinks, and flooring. Plus, the Organic Garden segment, and of course, your phone calls. So find a cool spot, tune in, and enjoy a little House Talk Today.
Tune in to House Talk Today, tomorrow afternoon from 1 to 3 on 660 AM The Answer.
When the economy crashed in 2008, the Fed lowered interest rates. They've been low ever since. But now the economy's improving, and most experts believe the Fed will start raising interest rates very soon. That means you should refinance your mortgage now to pull cash out of your home at today's low rates, because once the Fed starts raising rates, they probably won't stop. So beat the Fed to the punch and refi your mortgage before it's too late by making the cash call at 855-875-CASH. Today, Cash Call Mortgage is offering a 15-year fix at 2.99% rate and APR with no closing costs. You have the chance to pull tens of thousands out of your home, lock in a low rate, and pay absolutely nothing out of pocket, but you have to act now. Cash Call Mortgage is designed to save. Call 855-875-CASH today.
Impact Mortgage Corp. DBA Cash Call Mortgage. 1 City Boulevard, West Suite 200, Orange, California 92868. Equal housing lender. Call 866-900-8744 for terms and restrictions. Subject to loan underwriting. Rates may change without notice. NMLS number 128231.
That's 855-875-CASH.
Everything is bigger in Texas, including electricity bills. But now's your chance to save big on your home electricity rates. If you feel like you're overpaying for your electricity, get ready to hear this big news. Take better control of your monthly bills and find great rates available to you with Save On Energy. Best of all, we have low rates from some of the top Texas energy providers, and you could lock in your rate right now for up to 5 years. That's right, 5 years of locked-in rates gives you protection against electric rates going up and up. Call 800-783-4407 now to see if you could start saving money today with a locked-in low rate. Thousands of customers have already made the fast and easy switch. Our energy experts can get you a great rate and get your service set up with one simple phone call. Just call 800-783-4407 today. Call the Electric Savings Hotline toll-free now at 800-783-4407 to see how much you can save. Call 800-783-4407. That's 800-783-4407. Again, 800-783-4407.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-573-2467. That's 1-800-573-2467. 1-800-573-2467. Or go to SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. I want to share with you one of the smartest things I ever did. A whole house full of windows from Statewide Remodeling. The benefits were instant. The house looked great. The resale value went way up. And the most important thing, I was saving money immediately on energy bills in the heat of the summer and the cold of the winter. Let me send you to StatewideRemodeling.com. In fact, StatewideRemodeling.com, or visit the showrooms in Irving or Collin Creek Mall in Plano. See the windows that I'm talking about. It's fantastic people doing great work and 50% off window installations and 100% financing with approved credit. The time is now to get your home energy efficient. Those builder's grade windows, you are leaking air conditioning out into the hot out of doors. Stop doing that. Get energy efficiency and beauty from windows with Statewide Remodeling. They've done so many things for me. I love them and you will too. StatewideRemodeling.com. Check them out. Give them a call, 888-270-7095. That's 888-270-7095. You will love your new windows from StatewideRemodeling.com.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. His name is Kurt. Kurt, you were about to say something about the Democrats.
Yeah, the Democrats and the Republicans especially, the ones that don't fight vociferously. And by the way, you can call 202-224-3121 and the switchboard will put you through to their office and you can let your view be heard.
Sure.
And I've talked to staffs, many of them, and I've even gotten to know some of the senior staff members.
Nice.
Of some people. But the important thing is this is horrible. And you know what? The more I think about it, it isn't even really a deal on nuclear weapons. They're going to get them with this deal. This is really more of a money deal. Europe's butt is hanging out of their pants. They haven't got a pot to pee in or a window to throw it out. Their financial euro is in trouble.
Well,
they want $150 billion infused in the Iranian economy. They're all sitting there in hotels at the Marriott and the Hilton and Tehran just waiting to sign these deals. And American, too. American businessmen are there. GE's over there, and I can't remember who else. I had a list here, but it doesn't come to mind. This is about money. And this is also about Obama's legacy to be the big peacemaker. But it's not going to be a peacemaking deal. It's going to be a war-making deal.
I agree. As a matter of fact, on this broadcast, I said that this could quite possibly be the cornerstone of World War III. Some legacy, huh, Kurt? That's a legacy you can be proud of. Hey, without me, World War III didn't happen. Well, thank you very much. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM. The Answer. Back with more in a moment.
Hello?
Hi, is this Amy?
Speaking.
This is Steve from LifeLock, calling about your response to the alert we sent for a credit application at a store in Portland.
Yes? That wasn't me. I'm in Tampa.
I understand. I'm going to work with you to help you resolve this, okay?
Thanks, Steve. I feel better already.
LifeLock detects threats to your finances, alerts you to danger, and helps restore your identity if anything's found. And with LifeLock Ultimate Plus, you get protection for your bank accounts, investments, even the equity in your home. Look, no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor transactions at every business, but LifeLock Ultimate Plus provides comprehensive identity theft protection. Visit LifeLock.com now and enter promo code AWARE or call and mention AWARE to save 10% on your LifeLock Ultimate Plus membership. Call 800-838-6010. 800-838-6010. 800-838-6010.
Hey everybody, Mark Davis from my friends at Good Feet, America's #1 arch support. And that invites the question, who needs arch supports? Answer is more people than you think. Do your feet hurt at the end of a day? That's not just the way life is supposed to be. You should have arch support where your feet feel great even at the end of a long day of walking. If your feet hurt at the beginning of the day, man, you got all kinds of issues, and they can be helped. You can get out of pain with arch support. It could be structural misalignment, plantar fasciitis, kind of a foot alignment, supination, overpronation, all these technical things that they know about at Good Feet. And what you'll know is you can walk in pain. You can limp in and walk out pain-free. This happens with so many people. I want to send everybody to goodfeetdfw.com, goodfeetdfw.com, Plano, Fort Worth, Southlake. Absolutely fantastic people. No shots, no medicine, no surgery, just relief from pain. So get out of pain today. 888-660-0942, 888-660-0942, or goodfeetdfw.com. That's goodfeetdfw.com.
Do you worry that the next stock market crash may be coming? If you're retired or retiring soon, it's critical to protect yourself now.
This is Ken Moraif, host of the Money Matters radio show, inviting you to our free seminar.
Choose 7 p.m. Tuesday, August 4th, Hilton Garden Inn, Fort Worth Medical District, or 1 p.m. or 7 p.m. Thursday, August 6th, the Money Matters building in Plano. Clients that followed Ken's advice were out of the stock market for 2008. Register now at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net, or call 800-994-0302.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. Planned Parenthood playing defense in the face of damaging videos.
The National Abortion Federation says the Center for Medical Progress infiltrated them and surreptitiously recorded certain members. In one video, the head of a Planned Parenthood office in Denver allegedly talks about the price of aborted fetal tissue, but Planned Parenthood officials say that was heavily edited. In another video, a Planned Parenthood official talks about the cost of processing tissue donated by women who've had abortions, but Planned Parenthood says it follows the law in reimbursing provider costs.
Fox Radio's Jessica Rosenthal, a federal judge has blocked the release of any additional video. Another batch of Hillary Clinton emails is released.
A new batch of State Department emails from Clinton's personal server, including some that contain redacted text classified, sources say, retroactively.
Fox Radio's Jared Halpern. White House intel confirms reports that Taliban leader Mohammed Omar is dead. Fox News, we report, you decide.
660 AM, The Answer.
Listen to Plain Talk, No Worries every Sunday right here at 11 a.m. Rick Foster and Kevin Christ of Guardian Financial Management will talk about retirement planning, identifying the path to your dreams, income planning, creating strategies that work for you, financial management, minimizing your risk along the way. The topic this Sunday Rick and Kevin will discuss is how reducing your risk can get you better returns. Plain Talk, No Worries with Rick Foster and Kevin Christ right here this Sunday at 11 a.m. You don't want to miss it.
Hey, Kurt Chase here. I've heard people say that getting married or buying a home are some of the biggest decisions you can make in life. Well, buying a new car is right up there too. After all, the typical driver holds onto their vehicle for an average of 11 years. And you don't want to wind up paying too much for a car. Well, I can help you with that. Listen to my show, the Automotive Edge Radio Show, heard here every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. Every week I give tons of insider scoop about how to deal with the best car, best leadership. That's the Automotive Edge Radio Show.
94.9 KLTY and Dallas Baptist University are excited to welcome a Good Fight Night to Frisco. Friday night, August 14th, 2015 at Elevate Life Church. Fight Night is a fun date for couples of any age or stage. Marriage experts, Dr. Les and Leslie Parrott, interact with you in a night filled with humor and practical new strategies for turning conflict into deeper relationship. They're actually going to show you how conflict can bring you closer together, because if you're like them, you have the occasional cut and you don't want anything to come from that but a bond between you and your spouse. You're going to leave that evening with some fantastic things you can do starting that very night to improve your relationship. Les and Leslie might share a real fight or two of their own to help each of you. Register at FightNightTexas.com. The truth is, we do have distinct differences, and the more we have empathy for each other, the more grace we have for each other. Friday, August 14th, 2015. For more info, visit ElevateLife.com.
Hi, I'm Tom Kidd, engineering graduate of Texas A&M and owner of Structured Foundation Repairs. Our number is 972-484-1200. Our motto is to do the right thing. In some respects, it's hard being the company that always does the right thing. But for our customers' sake, it's very important that we do. Being fully insured, as an example, costs us a lot of money, but it protects our customers. Having employees instead of day laborers is a huge responsibility, but our dedicated employees ensure that we do the best repairs we can. Managing a large office staff can be tedious, but they provide our customers a helpful voice when they need something urgent. Returning every phone call is time-consuming, but instills our customers with confidence that we will always be there when they need us. The Aggie Code of Honor states that Aggies don't lie, cheat, or steal, or tolerate those that do. That code was the principle our company was founded on, and it guides our daily operations. If this sounds like the kind of company you could trust to repair your foundation, call us today for a free evaluation at 972-484-1200 or click structuredfoundation.com.
Hi, folks. Alan Thicke here. You know, some things in life are just too serious to take chances on, and owing money to the IRS is definitely one of those. The IRS has the power to garnish your paycheck. They can levy your bank account, even take your home or business. Seriously. Thankfully, with one simple call, you can start solving your tax debt once and for all. Optima Tax Relief is the leading tax resolution firm in the nation. They have over 250 professionals. They have an A rating with the Better Business Bureau and the trust of thousands of satisfied clients. Optima's attorneys can immediately protect you from aggressive collections because they are experts in the Fresh Start Initiative. That's a special IRS debt forgiveness program that could save you thousands. Don't wait till it's too late. Get serious. Call Optima now for your free consultation.
Call 800-711-5743. 800-711-5743. 800-711-5743. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
What does heat mean to Dallas-Fort Worth? It means higher utility bills. It means more wear and tear on your air conditioner. The Texas heat means more heat coming through your windows. Hi, I'm Dave Traynor from The Window Connection. That's right. Your window is actually radiating heat to the inside of the house. Just conducting a full-fledged war against your air conditioning and your nice, cool AC. Well, just the other day, I was on a house. You know, it was only 95 degrees outside, but the windowsill was actually 108 degrees. That's right. It was 108 degrees inside the house. Once I put in a new window that had heat reflective glass and argon gas, I actually got that windowsill temperature to drop all the way down to normal room temperature. And I can do the same thing for you.
Call the Window Connection for an estimate at 972-620-1994. That's 972-620-1994. Or go online to thewindowconnection.net.
Set sail with Newt Gingrich. Get aboard the Elegant Crystal Symphony for a spectacular 7-day cruise from New York to Montreal. At the same time, enjoy stimulating seminars on politics and investment. Our guests include Newt Gingrich, Mark Skousen, John Ransom, and Chris Versace. And everything's included. We set sail September 13th through the 20th. Join us for the Politics in Your Portfolio cruise. Log on to politicsandyourportfolio.com for all the details. Politicsandyourportfolio.com.
Saying I don't know is no longer acceptable. This is 660 AM, The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. We have a treat for you. We have a treat for you today because of the inexplicable incompetence of Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Debbie Wasserman Schultz proves that no matter how softball the question may appear, the proper Democrat can ham-fist any question being asked, any question whatsoever. She was appearing on Hardball with Chris Matthews. She is the Democrat National Committee chairwoman, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and Chris Matthews asked her what's the difference between a Democrat and a socialist.
Want to see Bernie okay, do you want to see Bernie Sanders speak at the Democratic Convention, win or lose? You want to have him up there on the stage as a socialist representing the Democratic Party? Do you want him up there?
Bernie Sanders.
You want him on the floor of the convention?
Bernie Sanders has been a good Democrat. He caucuses with the Democrats. Of course he should speak.
Speak in prime time.
He should speak at the Democratic National
Convention. In prime time with everybody watching.
Bernie Sanders represents we are a big tent
So the
party.
answer is yes.
I did. I said yes. I can say yes again.
But in prime time.
I don't know.
Maybe when nobody's watching, you mean?
No, of course Bernie Sanders should speak. He should speak in a slot where the appeal that he has across the board, the progressive, populist message that he has that resonates deeply and widely with the American people, not just with Democrats, absolutely that should be featured. The difference between us and the Republicans is that we really are a big tent party.
Well, what is the difference between a Democrat and a socialist? I used to think there was a big difference. What do you think it is?
The difference between
a Democrat like Hillary Clinton and a socialist like Bernie Sanders.
What's the difference between being a Democrat and being a Republican?
Well, what's the bigger difference? What's the big difference between a Democrat and a socialist? You're chairman of the Democratic Party. Tell me the difference between you and a socialist.
The relevant debate that we'll be having over the course of this campaign is what's the difference between a Democrat and a Republican?
I think there's a huge difference.
And the difference between a Democrat and Republican is that Democrats fight to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to succeed, and the Republicans are strangled by their right-wing extremists. And so we're watching them debate phasing out Medicare. And a candidate who actually said that President Obama would march Israelis to the ovens. I mean, that's the kind of debate that's going on their side. And on our side, we're talking about the best way that we can help make sure that every American has an opportunity to reach the middle class.
So in other words, she doesn't know the difference between a Democrat and a socialist. So I guess what I thought I would do is I would hearken back to the ages of days gone by. And I would go to somebody that knows everything there is to know about it. His name was Ronald Reagan.
Back in 1927, an American socialist, Norman Thomas, 6 times candidate for president on the Socialist Party ticket, said the American people would never vote for socialism. But he said under the name of liberalism, the American people will adopt every fragment of the socialist program. There are many ways in which our government has invaded the precincts of private citizens, the method of earning a living. Our government is in business to the extent of owning more than 19,000 businesses covering 47 different lines of activity. This amounts to a fifth of the total industrial capacity of the United States. But at the moment, I'd like to talk about another way because this threat is with us and at the moment is more imminent. One of the traditional methods of imposing statism or socialism on a people has been by way of medicine. It's very easy to disguise a medical program as a humanitarian project. Most people are a little reluctant to oppose anything that suggests medical care for people who possibly can't afford it. Now, the American people, if you put it to them about socialized medicine and gave them a chance to choose, would unhesitatingly vote against it. We had an example of this under the Truman administration. It was proposed that we have a compulsory health insurance program for all people in the United States, and of course, the American people unhesitatingly rejected this. So, with the American people on record as not wanting socialized medicine, Congressman Farrand introduced the Farrand Bill. This was the idea that all people of Social Security age should be brought under a program of compulsory health insurance. Now, this would not only be our senior citizens, this would be the dependents and those who are disabled. This would be young people if they are dependents of someone eligible for Social Security. Now, Congressman Farrand brought the program out on that idea of just for that particular group of people. But Congressman Farrand was subscribing to this foot-in-the-door philosophy because he said, If we can only break through and get our foot inside the door, then we can expand the program after that. Walter Reuther said, "It's no secret that the United Automobile Workers is officially on record as backing a program of national health insurance." And by national health insurance, he meant socialized medicine for every American. Well, let's see what the socialists themselves had to say about it. They say, once the Farand bill is passed, this nation will be provided with a mechanism for socialized medicine capable of indefinite expansion in every direction until it includes the entire population. Well, we can't say we haven't been warned. Now, Congressman Farand is no longer a congressman of the United States government. He has been replaced, not in his particular assignment, but in his backing of such a bill by Congressman King of California. It is presented in the idea of a great emergency that millions of our senior citizens are unable to provide needed medical care. But this ignores the fact that in the last decade, 127 million of our citizens, in just 10 years, have come under the protection of some form of privately owned medical or hospital insurance. Now, the advocates of this bill, when you try to oppose it, challenge you on an emotional basis. They say, what would you do? Throw these poor old people out to die with no medical attention? That's ridiculous, and of course, no one has advocated it. As a matter of fact, in the last session of Congress, a bill was adopted known as the Kerr-Mills bill. Now, without even allowing this bill to be tried to see if it works, they have introduced this King bill, which is really the Farand bill. What is the Kerr-Mills bill? It is a frank recognition of the medical need or problem of our senior citizens that I've mentioned. And it is provided from the federal government money to the states and the local communities that can be used at the discretion of the state to help those people who need it. Now, what reason could the other people have for backing a bill which says we insist on compulsory health insurance for senior citizens on a basis of age alone, regardless of whether they are worth millions of dollars, whether they have an income, whether they're protected by their own insurance, whether they have savings? I think we could be excused for believing that, as ex-Congressman Farand said, this was simply an excuse to bring about what they wanted all the time, socialized medicine. James Madison, in 1788, speaking to the Virginia Convention, said, "Since the general civilization of mankind, I believe there are more instances of the abridgment of the freedom of the people by gradual and silent encroachment of those in power than by violent and sudden usurpations." They want to attach this bill to Social Security, and they say, here is a great insurance program now instituted, now working. Let's take a look at Social Security itself. Again, very few of us disagree with the original premise that there should be some form of saving that would keep destitution from following unemployment by reason of death, disability, or old age. And to this end, Social Security was adopted. But it was never intended to supplant private savings, private insurance, pension programs of unions and industries. Now, in our country, under our free enterprise system, we have seen medicine reach the greatest heights that it has in any country in the world. Today, the relationship between patient and doctor in this country is something to be envied any place. The privacy, the care that is given to a person, the right to choose a doctor, the right to go from one doctor to the other. But let's also look from the other side at the freedom the doctor loses. A doctor would be reluctant to say this. Well, like you, I'm only a patient, so I can say it in his behalf. The doctor begins to lose freedoms. It's like telling a lie, and one leads to another. First, you decide that the doctor can have so many patients. They're equally divided among the various doctors by the government. But then the doctors aren't equally divided geographically. So a doctor decides he wants to practice in one town, and the government has to say to him, you can't live in that town. They already have enough doctors. You have to go someplace else. And from here, it's only a short step to dictating where he will go. This is a freedom that I wonder whether any of us have the right to take from any human being. I know how I'd feel if you, my fellow citizens, decided that to be an actor, I had to become a government employee and work in a national theater. Take it into your own occupation or that of your husband. All of us can see what happens once you establish the precedent that the government can determine a man's working place and his working methods, determine his employment. From here, it's a short step to all the rest of socialism, to determining his pay, and pretty soon Your son won't decide when he's in school where he will go or what he will do for a living. He will wait for the government to tell him where he will go to work and what he will do. In this country of ours took place the greatest revolution that has ever taken place in world's history, the only true revolution. Every other revolution simply exchanged one set of rulers for another. But here, for the first time in all the thousands of years of man's relation to man, a little group of men, the founding fathers, for the first time, established the idea that you and I had within ourselves the God-given right and ability to determine our own destiny. This freedom was built into our government with safeguards. We talk democracy today, and strangely, we let democracy begin to assume the aspect of majority rule is all that is needed. Well, majority rule is a fine aspect of democracy, provided there are guarantees written in to our government concerning the rights of the individual and of the minorities. What can we do about this? Well, you and I can do a great deal. We can write to our congressmen, to our senators. We can say right now that we want no further encroachment on these individual liberties and freedoms. And at the moment, the key issue is we do not want socialized medicine. In Washington today, 40,000 letters, less than 100 per congressman, are evidence of a trend in public thinking. Representative Halleck of Indiana has said, when the American people want something from Congress, regardless of its political complexion, if they make their wants known, Congress does what the people want. So write. And if this man writes back to you and tells you that he too is for free enterprise, but we have these great services and so forth that must be performed by government, don't let him get away with it. Show that you have not been convinced. Write a letter right back and tell him that you believe in government economy and fiscal responsibility, that you know that governments don't tax to get the money they need. Governments will always find a need for the money they get, and that you demand the continuation of our traditional free enterprise system. You and I can do this. The only way we can do it is by writing to our congressman, even if we believe that he's on our side to begin with, write to strengthen his hand, give him the ability to stand before his colleagues in Congress and say, I have heard from my constituents and this is what they want. Write those letters now, call your friends and tell them to write them. If you don't, this program, I promise you, will pass just as surely as the sun will come up tomorrow. And behind it will come other federal programs that will invade every area of freedom as we have known it in this country. Until one day, as Norman Thomas said, we will awake to find that we have socialism. And if you don't do this, and if I don't do it, one of these days, you and I are going to spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it once was like in America when men were free.
The great Ronald Reagan telling us about us. Yeah, and the chairman of the Democrat Party of the United States does not know the difference between a Democrat and a socialist. Would you say that the process is well down the road? This is the Wells Report.
The Mike Gallagher Show.
Oh, great. A new study says using your cell phone can cause cancer. The researchers say using your phone for 20 minutes a day for 5 years increases your risk of brain tumors. Could you ever give up your phone? Also, Zimbabwe is asking for the extradition of the dentist who killed Cecil the Lion. Should the Obama administration honor this request?
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 10, right before Dennis Prager at noon on 660 AM. The Answer.
Hi, this is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor. I'd like for you to join me on my talk show this weekend. What I do is teach people how to go the natural, organic route. I stir up trouble, too, because I throw out some things that a lot of people just don't think are correct. You know what? We have a lot of experience to back up what we recommend. Have healthier gardens and more fun gardening. Join me this and every weekend.
Join Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
The following message contains a special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to urinate? Well, you're not alone. Most men will experience these prostate-related issues in their lifetime. Right now, the manufacturer of GoFlow Prostate is sending out risk-free supplies to the listeners of this station. And since GoFlow was developed by renowned renowned MD Dr. Mitchell Fleischer. Its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce frequent nighttime bathroom trips and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait because supplies are limited. Call 1-800-668-0074. That's 1-800-668-0074 to get your risk-free supply. GoFlow Prostate is guaranteed to reduce your frequent trips to the bathroom and promote healthy urine flow. Plus, if you call right now, you'll even get free shipping with your risk-free supply of GoFlow Prostate. Dial 1-800-667-5138. Don't delay. If the phones are busy, call back. 1-800-667-5138. 1-800-667-5138.
At Arizona State University, we believe in giving you everything you need to learn to thrive. So it's good to know the experts and college reviewers agree. U.S. News & World Report names ASU the second most innovative school in the country. The Wall Street Journal says ASU is 5th in the nation for producing the best qualified graduates. The esteemed Princeton Review ranks ASU in the top 15% of America's four-year colleges as a leader in undergrad education. This is a university that empowers you to truly thrive. Arizona State University Online gives you the exact same curriculum, identical degree, and access to the same prestigious faculty as on-campus students. You can choose from over 100 degree programs, all enhanced by our innovative online learning technologies. For more information, call 1-800-600-6431. U.S. News & World Report ranked us in the top 10 for earning an online degree. All these high marks should give you confidence in your big plans. Learn to thrive with ASU Online. Call 1-800-600-6431. That's 1-800-600-6431.
Let's make an offer on that Aspen Street house.
That one doesn't have a home warranty.
Is that a problem?
Not if you like paying through the nose on home system breakdowns.
Oh, what do you mean?
Like if the air conditioner quits, want to pay for a new one? Do you know how to fix the water heater, the plumbing?
Got it. Let's only look at places with home warranties.
A home warranty from American Home Shield protects homeowners against unexpected covered repairs and breakdowns of major home systems and appliances. Who would want to move into a new home without one? Just ask your local real estate professional. Or for complimentary helpful information about a home warranty from American Home Shield, call now at 1-800-771-2898. Service requests are subject to a fee for each trade called. Some exclusions and limitations apply. An American Home Shield home warranty instantly gives home buyers confidence in their purchase. For complimentary helpful information, including terms, rates, and coverage, call 1-800-771-2898. 1-800-771-2898.
Good day, DFW. Every service member knows it's a special event to be welcome home after deployment. Family and friends excitingly waiting with hugs and tears. We love those events and we love our military, but it wasn't always so. Those of us who served in Vietnam came home to jeers, insults. As a result, many of us suffered, and we didn't talk about it. Well, many Americans and veterans vowed to never let this happen again, and today's military stands by that vow. Our Joint Reserve Base Commander, Navy Captain Gil Miller, is directing a 50th anniversary commemoration August 1st. North Texas comes together to celebrate with a huge welcome home party at Veterans Park in White Settlement, right next door to Candlewood Suites, Fort Worth West. Captain Miller will be there to welcome us all. Festivities start at 9 a.m. and include war reenactment, 60s classic cars, warbirds, and a parade honoring our veterans with stories and so much more. Welcome Home is a chance to properly welcome home our Vietnam veterans. Won't you join us? That's tomorrow at Veterans Park in White Settlement.
660 a.m. 660 a.m. The Answer. 660 a.m. TheAnswer.com. If it's important to you, it's on the Wells Report on 660 a.m. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. So just to review, the chairman of the Democrat Party of the United States of America, Deborah Wasserman Schultz, cannot define the difference between a socialist and a Democrat.
Well, what is the difference between a Democrat and a socialist? I used to think there was a big difference. What do you think it is?
The difference between
a Democrat like Hillary Clinton and a socialist like Bernie Sanders.
What's the difference between being a Democrat and being a Republican?
Well, what's the bigger difference? What's the big difference between a Democrat and a socialist? You're chairman of the Democratic Party. Tell me the difference between you and a socialist.
The relevant debate that we'll be having over the course of this campaign is what's the difference between a Democrat and a Republican?
Okay, so basically what happens is Wasserman Schultz cannot describe the difference between a Democrat and a socialist, because in Deborah Wasserman Schultz's world there is no difference. And by the way, you can hear all about this on the blog. Okay, you can hear everything that you've just heard on our blog, including that absolute brilliant recitation of why socialism is a bad thing by Ronald Reagan. That was years ago. That was in the 50s. I mean, and he nailed it. He knew exactly what he was talking about. The major difference between Democrats and socialists is the object of their politics. Contemporary Democrats support a welfare state, unemployment insurance as a means to humanize capitalism. Socialists want to replace capitalism with a socialist economic system, arguing any attempt to humanize capitalism through regulation and welfare policies would distort the market and create economic contradictions, which, by the way, is what caused the Soviet Union its existence. Socialism will not work because it cannot work. Socialism depends on a capitalist endeavor to finance it. Without the capitalist endeavor to finance it, socialism eventually runs out of money and dies. Greece, perfect example. Earlier today, we heard that somebody said that the euro's in trouble. The euro's only in trouble because of socialism, because of big governments that spend money that they don't have. Does that sound familiar? We, the people of the United States, must compel our government to stop trying to help us. The government trying to help us is a government trying to essentially tax not just us, not just our children, but our grandchildren as well. We're trying to tax people that aren't even born yet. It must come to a rapid flipping end. The dangers of socialized medicine are obvious to any veteran of the United States, if you can find one that's still alive. This is it's an intellectually bankrupt philosophy. So intellectually bankrupt that the chairman of the Democrat Party dare not admit that it's no longer the Democrat Party. It's now the Social Democrat Party. The Social Democrat Party, not the Democrat Party. You're listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. If you have something to say, now's the time. 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. This is the Wells Report. Back with more in just a moment.
Sean Hannity believes the establishment GOP is the reason why Donald Trump has risen in the polls.
That's what this has become, a weak and timid and visionless Washington Republican establishment. And it's now hit a tipping point. Dovetails perfectly into an analysis of why you see the meteoric rise of Donald Trump.
The Sean Hannity Show, afternoons at 2, right before Michael Medved at 5 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Listen to Plain Talk, No Worries every Sunday right here at 11 a.m. Rick Foster and Kevin Christ of Guardian Financial Management will talk about retirement planning, identifying the path to your dreams, income planning, creating strategies that work for you, financial management, minimizing your risk along the way. The topic this Sunday Rick and Kevin will discuss is how reducing your risk can get you better returns. Plain Talk, No Worries with Rick Foster and Kevin Christ right here this Sunday at 11 a.m. You don't want to miss it.
This is Hugh Hewitt for townhall.com. The Colorado Springs Gazette has published a special report on the impact of marijuana legalization on the Centennial State, a special section called Clearing the Haze, piloted by their editorial page editor, Wayne Lageson. The results are not pretty. Legal marijuana has not raised a penny for the schools, as was promised, but has instead created an enormous addiction problem among young Coloradans. The state has also attracted cross-country criminals, and indeed even the cartels that proponents had hoped would be set back by legalization. And thousands of marijuana establishments have sprung up that are poorly regulated, and the dope is particularly strong. In short, it's a public policy disaster. And it all remains very illegal under federal law. All that needs to happen is for a president and an attorney general to take note of the facts on the ground and act. Look for this issue to raise its head in the Republican presidential debates, and expect Colorado to try and find a way to put this very bad genie back in its bottle. I'm Hugh Hewitt.
Hey, does the idea of having your home sold on time without hassle and for top dollar, does that seem unrealistic to you? Hey, Dallas, it's your friend Sean Hannity, one real estate agent to sell your home guaranteed. That's Josh DeShong of Josh DeShong Real Estate at Keller Williams. Josh averages hundreds of local, national, and international buyers every single week. Now, that means your home sells on time at a price that you agreed to, guaranteed, or Josh will buy it. Josh's clients voted, and both D Magazine and Texas Monthly ranked him as the best real estate agent in Dallas. Real estate mogul and Shark Tank star Barbara Corcoran only recommends Josh in DFW. And if I lived in Dallas and needed my home sold, guess what? I'd call Josh DeShong, and you should too. Call Josh now at 972-325-6644 or go online at getsold.net. That's 972-325-6644 or getsold.net and start packing.
Okay, you're on. We're here live from Niagara Falls for this year's Spring Festival. Wait, what?
That'll do it.
Great job, Will. You two, what are you doing?
Sorry, Canada. You had a leak.
Look, it's Will Nell and Fred Thompson from American Leak Detection.
American Leak Detection.
Guys, come over here. Come here. All right. Here with me now are the guys with American Leak Detection. Please explain yourselves.
Well, at American Leak Detection, we have been detecting and repairing hidden leaks in your home for more than 25 years, big or small.
And all without damaging your home. We can even repair leaks in your swimming pools. Hey, looks like DFW needs us. Just go to AmericanLeakDetection.com to schedule us to come out. That's AmericanLeakDetection.com.
Hey, it's Flo, and this is my impression of a less than ideal job candidate. Is the owner here? Oh, you're the owner, whatever. So I can only work Monday through Wednesday sometimes, and I gotta get out at 2 p.m. sharp. Band practice, you know? We're big on covers, like how Progressive covers both businesses and commercial auto. Anyway, sorry I'm late, but being late's sort of my thing.
All the coverage your business needs at progressivecommercial.com.
Resume? Nah, I don't really do those. I just like to come in and let my personality shine.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Square Trade does not cover lost or stolen items. Savings based on 2-year iPhone plan with 1 claim compared to Assurant total equipment coverage as of April 10th, 2015.
Don't overpay for phone insurance. Save with Square Trade phone protection instead. Phone insurance from Verizon, Sprint, or other wireless carriers can cost you as much as $11 every month, plus up to $199 deductible when you break your phone. Square Trade phone protection is less than $5 a month. We can save you over $240.
Start saving with Square Trade now. Visit squaretrade.com. That's squaretrade.com.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. It's the Wells Report. The Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Hi. Our telephone number, 866-660-5759. Let's find out what Mark Davis has got planned for us on Monday morning. What do you say?
Hey, JD, happy Friday and a good weekend to you and your listeners. Is everybody ready for next week? Republican Debate Week. Holy cow. The days leading up to Thursday will be filled with stories of who is in and who is out. But along the way, we'll also keep track of who seems ready and who may not. Talk of strategy, talking points, the issues they choose to put up front. I, for one, know what issues I'll put up front on the Monday show, the ones that you all want to talk about, and you bring me on the phone lines, 7 to 10, Monday morning, Mark Davis Show. Join us right here on 660 AM, The Answer.
Thanks very much, Mark. I will look forward to that fine radio broadcast of yours, my friend. So, the president the other day, and I reported it on this broadcast, said that he thought he was a pretty good president, and he added, I think if I ran, I could win. Well, Rasmussen Reports released a poll today showing that 1/3 of likely U.S. voters would agree with the president and vote for him if he ran again. However, things begin to sort of fall apart after that. 93% of the Republicans in the United States would not vote for President Obama. 68% of all independents would not vote again for President Obama. In fact, only 57% of Democrats would vote for President Obama's third term, meaning that 63%, 2/3 of us, of all likely voters, would reject a third term of the President of the United States. This helpful, friendly reality check brought to you at no cost from the loving hands of we, the purveyors of the Wells Report. Thought you'd like to know. So, there's a problem in Europe. The problem in Europe is that people in the Middle East are leaving the Middle East and resettling in Europe everywhere. And there are problems because the social infrastructure in Europe, even though all of these countries used to have their own separate economies, it isn't quite set up for a huge influx of immigrants. Germany, with typical German precision, is resorting to tent cities to house a flood of refugees led by Syrians fleeing civil war as soaring costs test the country's willingness to accept newcomers. The government expects the number of asylum seekers entering the country this year to more than double to 450,000. Caring for them will run as high as 6 billion euros, 6.6 billion in fact. That's $6.6 billion rather. The Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung newspaper reported this week, citing data collected from the interior ministries of Germany's 16 states. So what are they doing? They're resorting to tent cities. They say tent accommodations aren't the exception. The problems are massive. The influx presents challenges for Chancellor Angela Merkel and her government. With a majority of the public now favoring stricter immigration rules, Merkel herself was personally caught up in the debate earlier this month when she drove a Palestinian girl to tears after telling her that not all asylum seekers will get to stay. Migrants have become the number one topic for German voters, replacing the old concerns about unemployment and the economy, said Jörg Vorbrig, a senior program director at the German Marshall Fund of the U.S. in Berlin. He said by phone, the issue is the gravitational center and the political magnet for every German election. Yeah, migrants. While Merkel's government is giving the states more money to pay for asylum and added staff to shorten the processing time of applications, the sheer number have left them stretched and resorting to tents to house people. Brandenburg, the state surrounding Berlin, has put up as many as 23 army tents to house 280 people, a temporary solution that can only be used as long as the weather remains warm enough. The United States used to have something very similar. It was called Ellis Island. People came to the United States that had sponsors, and while they were hooking up with their sponsors, they were given shelter, housing, etc. at Ellis Island. What I would do in the United States of America is that I would make sure that everyone that was caught crossing the border without papers lived in a tent city, very much like Germany is doing right this minute, until they could prove that they had some reason to continue living in the United States. And having a baby wouldn't be one of them. So in other words, you come across the border and you don't have a place to go and you don't have proper paperwork, you're going to a tent city unless you want to go back home right now. And that's what you do. People will not cross the border to live in a tent city. They won't. And that is something that I think we should probably consider. until they can prove that they have some sort of way of being able to make a living and move forward, proper paperwork and all, you can stay here until you decide to go back home. And there would be a time limit. You see, the countries of Europe have a major problem. They are losing their culture to immigrants. The Netherlands figured it out first, and they have demanded that all of the immigrants that they have in their country learn how to speak Dutch and live in the country as Dutchmen. That's what all countries should do, including the United States. We have this amazingly huge economy that can hide a lot of people, but we're coming to the end of that too. We have always been able to figure out a way to get around all this all the time. We've always been able to do it. We'll be able to do it again. But what we need to do is we need to be more strident in the enforcement of our law. Not the creation of anything new, just the enforcement of what is there. This is the solid reality of all of this. It is what we need to do. We need to just flat say, hey, here's what's going on. If you do not have a reason to live in the United States, you have no reason to live in the United States. Go back home. Tent accommodations are not the exception. The problems are massive, said Bernd Mesovich, the deputy managing director of the refugee rights group Pro-ASIL, adding that he worries Germany will soon have a backlog of 260,000 undecided asylum cases. Politicians are pushing for laws that would more clearly identify who can stay and help speed up the deportation of people from countries such as the Balkan states who have little chance of being granted an asylum. In Bavaria, Prime Minister Horst Seehofer said this month he plans to take matters into his own hands and implement rigorous measures to more quickly send home rejected asylum seekers. In the poll released yesterday by broadcaster ARD, 63% of Germans want a new immigration law, 27% that say that's not necessary. A total of 62% of those surveyed in a Bild newspaper poll this week said they support faster expulsion for people who don't come from the war zones. Uncertainty about her future in Germany left a 14-year-old Palestinian girl in tears at a Merkel town hall meeting in the northern city of Rostock this month. The girl said her parents came to the country from a refugee camp in Lebanon and were still waiting for a decision on their asylum application 4 years later, prompting the chancellor to say this: "Some will have to go back." The exchange caused a stir on social media and in the German press. This year there has already been 173 arson and other attacks, mainly on uninhabited buildings, planned for refugees in several towns and states, according to new magazine Der Spiegel. That compares with 175 such attacks in all of 2014. In Treglitz, located about 200 kilometers southwest of Berlin, in the eastern state of Saxony-Anhalt, a building that was to house immigrants was firebombed in April. The mayor quit after receiving threats from neo-Nazis. The issue has become a political topic in the state of Baden-Württemberg, where Green Party Premier Wilfried Kretschmann is facing a re-election bid in the next 8 months. Kretschmann's own party refused his plan to declare more of southeastern European countries as safe places of origin. which would have limited the number of those eligible for asylum. Opponents have seized on the matter, as they would. See, here's the problem. This is why all these people who believe that the United States can't be the world's policeman and why we should not enforce Pax Americana, all these people are wrong. And the reason that they are wrong is because if you do not force their countries to treat their people properly, those people will come to us and demand that we treat them properly. I've seen plenty of that. I say enough's enough. What do you say? 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. Yeah. This is a problem. And it's worldwide. I mean, we have Syrians coming to the United States. Do we know who they are? No. Why don't we know who they are? Well, because we've essentially allowed our immigration system to atrophy to the point of uselessness. Why? Because politicians need votes more than we need legal. And when votes become more important than law, then you're the wrong person for the governmental job that you're seeking. You have no clue. Sometimes I wonder if people hear me. Sometimes I wonder if people get this. But we're right in the middle of it. It's not the good old days. We truly have to start working on our own country. We have waited long enough. If we refuse to do this, there will be others that will stand up and take care of this country for us. Like politicians. How's that working out? You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. What if the sun explodes? Yeah, what if the sun explodes? What would you do? I'll explain the whole thing coming up in just a couple of minutes. Don't forget, in a little more than a half an hour, the Friday Flameout, your opportunity to whine, moan, groan, complain, gripe, grouse, express your extreme displeasure with whatever it is that drove you the craziest. It's coming up, too, into the night on 660 AM The Answer.
This week on House Talk Today, we continue our Consumer Report series, Creating the Perfect Kitchen. This Saturday, Part 2, Define Your Style. Countertops, cabinets, sinks, and flooring. Plus, the Organic Garden segment, and of course, your phone calls. So find a cool spot, tune in, and enjoy a little House Talk Today.
Tune in to House Talk Today, tomorrow afternoon from 1 to 3 on 660 AM, The Answer.
How will the future affect the money decisions you make now? Find out Saturday morning with Jerry Tuma and John Criswell on Smart Money. Smart Money will bring you the latest information regarding financial markets and what it means to you and your investment and retirement portfolio. Not knowing could be costly. Smart Money, a voice of experience and integrity, with Jerry Tuma and John Criswell. Tomorrow morning at 8 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Finally, the rain appears to be over and summer is upon us. The recent rains have caused the clay soil to expand and raised some homes with foundation problems, making them appear to be fixed. I'm Tom Kidd, engineering graduate of Texas A&M and owner of Structured Foundation Repairs. Our number is 972-484-1200. Listen, Heavy rain swelling the clay soil and raising homes with foundation problems is like pumping air into a tire with a slow leak. It may look like the tire is fixed, but it is still leaking air and will eventually go flat again. If you think this might be happening with your home, call Structured Foundation Repairs today for a free, comprehensive evaluation of your foundation. We'll let you know if you have a foundation problem or if you're just experiencing normal seasonal movement. We'll also check to see if you have a drainage problem around your home and make recommendations if the drainage should be improved. We're fully insured and our peers come back by a lifetime transferable warranty. So if you have questions about your foundation or think you might have a drainage problem, call Structured Foundation Repairs today at 972-484-1200 or click structuredfoundation.com.
We've been hearing a lot about Uber lately, so we decided to get out there and talk to some actual Uber partners to get our questions answered.
Is signing up to drive with Uber really hard?
Nope, signing up with Uber is super easy.
It was simple and easy. Okay, but can I drive my own car?
Yes. You get to drive your own car.
But my roommate doesn't even have a car. Can she drive with Uber?
They can help her get a car too.
I wouldn't be able to get a vehicle if it wasn't for Uber. It took me less than 6 hours to get a car.
So you could just sign up and earn money.
Sign up, drive, and you make some money.
You're saying I can just use the smartphone app to make money whenever I want?
Yeah, you just open the app whenever you feel like driving.
All I have to do is turn on my phone, hit the road, and I start making money.
Are the hours good?
I work less hours and I make more money.
I'm my own boss now, so I set my own hours.
Okay, this all sounds pretty great. What do you think I should do?
You need to sign up for Uber.
You can make serious life-changing money when you drive with Uber. Get started today at drivewithuber.com. That's drivewithuber.com. drivewithuber.com.
Comfort. What comes to mind for you? For me, it might be relaxing poolside or maybe a nice soft pillow. One of the things it is for most of us is a nice cool room on a hot day in Texas. It's also comfortable knowing that your electric bills might be a little lower. Comfort is also knowing that you're not going to have any more problems from your windows. What makes me comfortable is knowing that I can get home and actually have every room in my house be cool and comfortable. There's nothing I hate worse than one hot room in my house. I'm real sure you don't like that either. So the question becomes, what are you going to do about it? There's only one or two windows in there anyway. That's the problem. Hi, I'm Dave Trainer of the Window Connection. I would so value the opportunity to come to your home and see if we can find a good solution for making you and your family a whole lot more comfortable. You can find out more about me and my company at thewindowconnection.net.
Call the Window Connection for an estimate at 972-620-1994. That's 972-620-1994. Or go online to thewindowconnection.net.
Hi, this is Jamie Woodridge of Berkey's Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electrical Services, now in our 40th year serving Metroplex homeowners. If you are like most people, your home is your biggest investment. Having every system in your home properly maintained so they all operate safely and efficiently is not only important, but helps keep your home's resale value high. Your air conditioning system is operating as it should, your plumbing always works, and your electrical system has been inspected. That's peace of mind. Berkey's Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electrical Services offers you that kind of peace of mind with an innovative plan. For one membership fee, all your systems will be kept in tip-top condition, and you will automatically receive special rewards and discounts. You no longer have to wonder if your air conditioning is really working as it should, or if those flickering lights are telling you there's a problem, or if the plumbing will work when company comes. Call 817-717-3885 and ask about Berkey's Peace of Mind plan, or visit us at berkeys.com. Berkey's, we're there when you need us.
License numbers TACLB 41879E and 38424, TECL 30739.
660 AM, The Answer. The Wells Report, a daily good old-fashioned North Texas barbecue of anybody trying to take advantage of us on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Have you ever wondered how it is that people are so cool and so calm and so collected on, like, oh, I don't know, Meet the Press and Fox News Sunday? You know, these people show up and so on. At least some do. Some people don't. Sarah Palin, for example, had a real terrible time. You know, when she was on with Charlie Gibson, I guess it was Good Morning America or something, GMA. Well, it looks like when we saw some of Hillary's emails, it looks like Clinton staffer Lissa Muscatine wrote, you probably already know this, but I just heard from a friend who was wired at Meet the Press that David Gregory will ask you about David Major, the Newsweek journalist arrested in Iran. Yeah, so what happens is that at least as far as Meet the Press is concerned, when it comes to Hillary Clinton, apparently they know what they're going to talk about before they show up. So you suppose that Charlie Gibson or staffer from Good Morning America, suppose that that they told Sarah Palin they were going to ask about the Bush doctrine? Probably not, huh? Yeah. Yeah, so now we know. So in case you're wondering how these people are able to come up with such amazing, and I mean amazing, recall about all of these very arcane topics, it's because they're cheating. This is the Wells Report.
Howdy folks, Crazy Gun Dealer here, and I still have a few of those Taurus 380 pocket pistols for only $179 with ammo purchase, so hurry on in here and get you one while they still last. If you're a new shooter or an old hand, I promise you're going to feel right at home at the Crazy Gun Dealer. We're going to treat you with good old Texas hospitality and make certain you know you're appreciated when you buy a gun from us. Every gun comes with free CHL classes, free lifetime warranty, free range membership, and free test firing with purchase. And if we don't already have the best gun price you found, we'll beat any price anywhere, gun to gun, because nobody wants your gun business more than the Crazy Gun Dealer. That's the Crazy Gun Dealer in Alvarado. To follow us, text CRAZY to 24587, visit crazygundealer.com, or just give us a call at 855-329-4867. That's 855-329-GUNS.
All offers and promotions subject to change or restrictions. See store for complete details.
Call 267-8433 because the next best thing to do is Dalworth Clean.
Hi, Cheryl here for Dalworth Clean. You've been hearing the Dalworth jingle for almost 40 years. And when you hear it, you probably think carpet cleaning. But Dalworth offers so much more. Dalworth can clean and restore every type of flooring in your home, including those beautiful hardwood floors. Most wood floor care products leave a layer of acrylic wax that builds up over time, leaving your floor with a dull, often scruffy appearance, and they no longer clean up like they used to. Dalworth offers a wood floor revitalization process that can remove this buildup and return your floor to its original finish. This week, you can save $100 off 400 square feet or more of wood floor revitalization. So call Dalworth today and find out why it's really true. The next best thing to new is Dalworth Clean. Or visit us at dalworth.com, where you can make your appointment 24/7.
Growth can be an intimidating 6-letter word, especially when the guys upstairs want 7% of it. That's why you need one 8-letter word, Grainger, Grainger. The G is for growth. From industry specialists to over 1 million products across almost every category, Grainger has the resources to help us grow. Now, can you guess what my favorite 4-letter word is? WORK. Let's get back to it. Get it? Got it? Good. Call clickgrainger.com or stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Gary Baumgarten. That Minnesota dentist who shot and killed Cecil the lion is wanted in Zimbabwe.
About 1.5 million square kilometers of African wildlife habitat is set aside as hunting reserves.
Oxford wildlife researcher Andrew Loveridge, who studied Cecil. This song was #1 on the country charts for 5 weeks in a row in 1970.
I beg your pardon.
The singer Lynn Anderson has died of a heart attack. She had been admitted to a Nashville hospital for pneumonia. Jeb Bush addressing poverty at the Urban League.
In our cities, we've got so many people who have never known anything but poverty. It's a tragedy for them and such a loss to our country.
Hillary Clinton at the same gathering.
We need to try as best we can to walk in one another's shoes.
Fox News, we report, you decide.
660 AM, The Answer.
Sean Hannity believes the establishment GOP is the reason why Donald Trump has risen in the polls.
That's what this has become, a weak and timid and visionless Washington Republican establishment. And it's now hit a tipping point. Dovetails perfectly into an analysis of why you see the meteoric rise of Donald Trump.
The Sean Hannity Show, afternoons at 2, right before Michael Medved at 5 on 660 AM, The Answer.
Listen to Plain Talk, No Worries every Sunday right here at 11 a.m. Rick Foster and Kevin Christ of Guardian Financial Management will talk about retirement planning, identifying the path to your dreams, income planning, creating strategies that work for you, financial management, minimizing your risk along the way. The topic this Sunday Rick and Kevin will discuss is how reducing your risk can get you better returns. Plain Talk, No Worries with Rick Foster and Kevin Christ right here this Sunday at 11 a.m. You don't want to miss it.
Pop quiz for all business owners. If you're not incorporated and someone sues your business, which one of these can you lose? Your home, your car, or your life savings? The answer? All three. Because if you're not incorporated, it's not just your business that can be sued, it's you too, which means you could lose everything. Once business owners realize the risk of not being incorporated, they usually scramble to incorporate or form an LLC. To make it quick and easy, Incorporate.com is now giving away a free incorporation guide to all business owners, so you can incorporate in just 10 minutes. For your free 10-minute incorporation guide, call now, 1-800-733-1035. Protect your financial future. At Incorporate.com, they don't provide legal or financial advice. They just make incorporating or forming an LLC quick and easy. Call now for your free 10-minute incorporation guide. 1-800-733-1035. Hurry while supplies last. 1-800-733-1035. That's 1-800-733-1035.
94.9 KLTY and Dallas Baptist University are excited to welcome a Good Fight Night to Frisco. Friday night, August 14th, 2015 at Elevate Life Church. Fight Night is a fun date for couples of any age or stage. Marriage experts, Dr. Les and Leslie Parrott, interact with you in a night filled with humor and practical new strategies for turning conflict into deeper relationship. They're actually going to show you how conflict can bring you closer together, because if you're like them, you have the occasional cut and you don't want anything to come from that but a bond between you and your spouse. You're going to leave that evening with some fantastic things you can do starting that very night to improve your relationship. Les and Leslie might share a real fight or two of their own to help each of you. Register at FightNightTexas.com. The truth is, we do have distinct differences, and the more we have empathy for each other, the more grace we have for each other. Friday, August 14th, 2015. For more info, visit ElevateLife.com.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. Got a question. Why is your mobile phone bill going to help Hillary become president of the United States? Answer is, same reason Big Mobile helped Obama win twice. It's what they do. Now Hillary's counting on Big Mobile to help her in 2016. If you're okay with that, don't listen further. But if you don't want to support Hillary or other leftist candidates and causes, switch to EOS Mobile. EOS Mobile. Website is EOScell, EOSCELL.com to learn more. EOS has the same great nationwide network, high-speed data, voice, pretty much everywhere across the country. EOS has the same devices you have come to love. And with plans starting at $9.99, a plan for every budget. But best of all, EOS Mobile at EOScell.com gives 5% of each bill to conservative causes and candidates. If you're stuck in a contract, they'll buy you out. If you want your phone bill to support conservative candidates, the choice is clear. EOScell.com. Learn more now at EOSCELL.com. EOScell.com. Same phones, same service, better causes. EOScell.com. EOSCELL.com.
Hey, this is George at the filling station, DFW. You know, I've been talking about the filling station quite a while now, and I want to tell you what I love about those Monday nights at the filling station. It's a special time when people come and sit at the feet of Jesus and then allow him to do what he does naturally. That's save, heal, deliver, and redeem. Yeah, he still does those things today. It's because he can't help himself. It's who he is. Jesus is the same as he was yesterday. He's that same God today, and he's going to be that same Jesus this coming Monday night. So whether you're a believer, non-believer, just someone trying to figure out who Jesus really is, you should come this Monday evening. It was set aside especially for you. Come meet Jesus. He's waiting for you. The Filling Station DFW meets every Monday evening at 7 p.m. at Summit Life Church. We're in Addison, Texas. Our address is 14240 Midway Road between Beltline and Spring Valley. You can get more information at the Filling Station DFW. That's the Filling Station DFW. Look forward to seeing you there.
Hi, welcome to Staples. What can I help you find today?
Yeah, hi. I need a new printer. Mine's way too slow.
Perfect timing. This week we've got amazing deals on all regularly priced HP printers in the store, up to 50% off.
Wow, you're a lifesaver.
That's not all. All HP ink is buy one and get the second half off this week.
Wow, must be my lucky day.
It's your lucky week, but only this week.
Make big savings happen. Make better printing happen. Staples. Make more happen.
Offers end 8/1/15, 50% discount
excludes HP toner and limit 2 per customer. May not be combined with other offers while supplies last. See store or staples.com for details.
If you've got questions, we've got answers. 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Hi, how are you doing? This is an interactive portion of the radio broadcast leading to another interactive portion of the radio broadcast. So if you are awake, please do call us at 866-660-5759 and answer a very simple question that I will pose in just a moment. If you are not awake, wake yourself up and prepare to call me at 866-660-5759. So, what does this mean to you? Massive power failures, plane crashes, satellite disruptions, train derailments. What does that mean? That means that ERCOT has now gotten into the airline, satellite, and train business. No, I'm only kidding. No. What those are, mass power failures, plane crashes, satellite disruptions, and train derailments, that is what modern society could face in the case of a massive solar storm. The other day, the Space Weather Preparedness Strategy was released. It outlines the disturbances that could be caused by unpredictable solar weather. The most striking find from the report is that a country would have only 12 hours before the storm would hit the planet. The worst possible scenario would be a coronal mass ejection of plasma from the sun, during which the corona, that's the bright glow seen encircling the sun during a total eclipse, detaches, shooting off X-rays and high-energy particles directly at the Earth. To give you an idea, there was an 1859 Carrington event, which was a powerful coronal mass ejection. While there is only 1% probability of the Carrington event reoccurring any given year, modern society would be woefully underprepared to handle such a storm, according to the report. The UK department warns that it is difficult to forecast these events accurately. The short 12-hour warning time would leave major urban areas ill-prepared, and there is currently a lack of capability to monitor the effects of severe events once they start. To prepare for this kind of storm, countries need to set plans in place to respond quickly, design safeguards in power and communications infrastructure, and send out clear alerts and warnings to the public. The main challenge we face is that awareness of the risk is low. More needs to be done to encourage potentially vulnerable sectors to adopt measures to mitigate the likely impacts. Now, before you just throw this away as being like, what are you talking about? They're talking about the fact that this could set us back a century or two. Could you live in the 1800s? 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. That's actually not the question I want to ask you. I'm reasonably sure that a lot of us would be able to make the transition to a more primitive way of life. The reason I am so optimistic about that is because of the number of college kids that have grown up listening to the Wells Report since the abject poverty that they lived in and they managed. Well, here you go. The good news about all of this is that really there's not much chance of this happening. It could just as soon hit the United States or the Earth as it could hit any place else. It's a very small chance. The old coronal ejection event. So that's not, I'll get to the question here in just a couple of minutes. All right. The other thing that I want to ask you about is if the sun explodes, you will have about 12 hours of warning to do something like get your ducks in a row. So here's what I want you to do. You're on the brink of being propelled back to the 18th century. No television, not radio for a while. We'd get radio out there to you eventually, but it'd take a while. You're going back to the 1800s. What would be the last things you'd want to do to remember the new millennium before you got propelled backwards to 2 centuries? 866-660-5759. What would you do before a cataclysmic solar storm hit the earth and changed all of our lives forever? What are the things you'd like to do to remember the new millennium? 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. What would you like to do? I don't know how long this is going to last. I don't think it would take 2 centuries for us to come back from the 1800s, if indeed there was this huge natural disaster. As a matter of fact, I don't think we'd actually make it all the way back to the 1800s. I think what would probably end up happening is that we would go back in time to where it would be simpler to live. And a lot of the things we have to deal with, we wouldn't have to deal with because nobody would really care. For example, if we had this gigantic solar mass ejection event and it screwed up our electronics, televisions, communications, et cetera, we'd still be able to do it. We'd still be able to figure out how to communicate with each other. The Pony Express, for example. But what I'm interested in is, okay, so let's say, for all intents and purposes, the world is going to end. You have 12 hours to make your peace with the world ending. What would you do? 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. You had 12 hours to prepare for a solar cataclysm. What would you do? You want to know what I would do? Here's what I would do. I would spend the first 4 hours writing a list that I would then spend the next 4 hours reading to you. And I do it on the air. And it would start out like this. The following people can kiss my hairy tuchus. And then I would read all the names. It'd probably take about 4 hours. See, that's what I'm thinking. The following people can kiss my hairy tuchus. What do you think? Is that the great way to spend your last 12 hours, Matt?
Sure.
What would you be doing? I know what you'd do. I know exactly what you would do. You would watch all of the winning Astros games this season. All 3 of them. And it would take
They've won more
about,
than 3.
Okay, they've won more than 3.
By the way, they're in first place.
Oh, they're in first place? Everybody else has lost more than they have? Wow, that's weird. You would watch an Astros game, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, I watch the whole season.
You wouldn't be able to watch the whole season in 12 hours. You'd have to pick.
I could.
You'd have to pick. 866-660-5759. You've got 12 hours before no electricity, no TV,
Thank you, ERCOT.
no phone. That's right. It's the world of ERCOT being played out in front of you. Yeah, the world of ERCOT. Let's do that again. The world of ERCOT. What would you do? You have 12 hours to enjoy all of the creature comforts we enjoy before being propelled back to the 1815s. 1815, we took a little trip. Well, you see, I wouldn't have to worry about that. See, I wouldn't have to worry about because my drums I could take with me. See? So now there wouldn't be any rock guitar players, would there? Yeah.
Or Ozzy.
Then well, yeah, but Ozzy'd be singing, but nobody'd be able to hear him. 866-660-5759. So you've got 12 hours to enjoy the last creature comforts of where we're living. What would you do? What would you do? Wayne from Louisville, Texas. What would you do, buddy? For the last 12 hours, what would you do?
Get on my knees and pray.
Would you? What would you pray? What would you?
The whole utility, water supply, everything is controlled by computers, and it would be a very, very serious situation.
Well, some of it's controlled by gravity.
Yeah, but you got to have pumps. You got to have electricity.
Well, but
and our system, SCADA system control data acquisition. Everything is controlled by computer now.
Yeah, but that's not the question. I know it would be a pain in the butt. What I'm trying to find out is what would you do for the last 12 hours? But you would just pray?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because I don't know that I would pray I would pray a short prayer. I might go to church. Hopefully Father Dennis would be in charge of the service, so it would only last an hour.
Yeah.
So that would give me 11 hours to prepare or to do something else.
Yeah, we'd really need to prepare long before that.
Well, yeah, but let's just assume that we find out that there's been a massive solar storm and we have 12 hours before we get propelled back to the 1800s. 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. We'd still be able to ride horses. So what we'd have to do is we'd have to locate horse tack. We'd have to have saddles and stuff like that. We'd still at some point we'd be able to rehab ourselves back. It wouldn't be that we would be there long. Maybe a year, maybe 2, maybe 5 at the very outside. 866-660-5759. What would you do with the last 12 hours of the new millennium? Next on the Wells Report.
The Mark Davis Show.
Are we ready for Republican Debate Week? The days leading up to Thursday will be filled with who is in and who is out. But along the way, we'll keep track of who seems ready and who may not. Strategy, talking points, the issues they choose to put up front. I know what issues I'll have up front, the ones you want to talk about from the weekend. So it's our Monday show, and we're pleased to have you join us.
The Mark Davis Show. Weekday mornings at 7, right before Mike Gallagher at 10 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Hi, this is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor. I'd like for you to join me on my talk show this weekend. What I do is teach people how to go the natural, organic route. I stir up trouble, too, because I throw out some things that a lot of people just don't think are correct. You know what? We have a lot of experience to back up what we recommend. Have healthier gardens and more fun gardening. Join me this and every weekend.
Join Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Hey, it's Mark Davis with something I know you do not want to spend your summer doing. paying 2 mortgages while only living in one house, or stuck in one house that you can't sell when there's another house right over there across town that you'd love to move into, but you can't. If you're stuck in a home you can't sell and nobody else has been able to sell it for you, let me solve that for you. Josh DeShong, my hero. He sold our home. Josh DeShong and the now famous Josh DeShong home selling team. Here's how he works. Marketing budget like nobody else. Energy like nobody else. Putting your house in front of so many people, you only need one.
Check.
Are you learning how to check humans for things?
No, I'm learning how to take care of my Rottweilers. Okay, so here we go. I already know. I just want to see if I'm doing the right things. All right, here we go. It's called a schism if you are dealing with a religious okay. In religion, it's called a schism. In politics, it's called the Republican Party. Okay, wait. In religion, it's called a schism. In the Republican Party, it's called a fact of life. The fact that there are moderate Republicans and conservative Republicans. And you know what? It may screw us all up. On the next edition of the Wells Report, we're going to speak with Ken Blackwell. On the next edition of the Wells Report, we're going to speak with Ken Blackwell. He's the Senior Fellow for Family Empowerment at the Family Research Council. He's got some ideas of how we can put together a Republican Party that wins for the future. Is conservatism a part of that, or are we going to have to compromise? Next time on the Wells Report. All right, here we go. Mark Davis, thanks very much for this opportunity to join you on Monday morning and tell people what's coming up on the Wells Report a little bit later on. And my voice is cracking. Mark Davis, thanks very much for this opportunity to join you on Monday morning and tell people what's coming up later on tonight on the Wells Report. We're going to be speaking with Ken Blackwell. He is the We'll be speaking with Ken Blackwell. He is the Senior Fellow for Family Empowerment at the Family Research Council. We have noticed something in the Republican Party. There are moderate Republicans and there are conservative Republicans, and if we don't find some way to be able to agree with each other, we may have problems in 2016. Ken Blackwell is going to talk about that. We're going to find out whether or not we're going to have to compromise our principles or they will. Next time on the Wells Report. Don't miss it.
Recipes, fresh ingredients, comfortable environment, and genuine hospitality are the heart and soul of Crossroads Diner. We'll be waiting for you.
Can you afford to lose 30 to 50% of what you have if there was a stock market crash? If you're retired or retiring soon, it's critical to protect what you have. Don't miss the next free Money Matters retirement seminar. Choose 7 p.m. Tuesday, August 4th, Hilton Garden Inn, Fort Worth Medical District, or 1 p.m. or 7 p.m. Thursday, August 6th, the Money Matters building in Plano. Clients that followed Ken Morav's advice were out of the stock market for 2008. Register now at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net or call 800-994-0302.
Love the warmth and beauty of hardwood flooring? Then you got to get to Lumber Liquidators Hardwood Flooring Sale. For deals on over 200 varieties of hardwood from just 99 cents. You could pay twice as much at other stores, but we've got gorgeous, pre-finished, easy-to-install Chase Oak hardwood from $189. Stunning, wide plank solid 3/4-inch espresso heavy for $299. Incredible deals on solid bamboo from just $129. Plus, laminate and more from 49 cents. And 24-month special financing. The hardwood flooring sale is going on now. Visit lumberliquidators.com to find a store near you.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
Yeehaw! You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. So, it may seem like a disaster movie. It would be a coronal mass ejection on an unprecedented scale that could give us 12 hours notice before we are propelled backwards 2 centuries. I mean, a lot of the things that we take for granted would be gone. What would you do with your 12 hours notice? What would you do with your 12 hours notice? Would you immediately start trying to get yourself all organized for the new propulsion back to the past? Or would you do something much more, shall we say, decadent? Let me get to Rick in San Antonio, Texas. Rick, thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks. Yeah, actually, I would go to church for a little while, and then I'd go home and hunker down. The government statistics that they came out with show that something like this would cause an EMP, and they're saying by 3 months' time, a third of the population would be dead due to starvation and pestilence.
Do you really think so?
Yeah, I do. I'm a prepper, so I'm prepared. I can my own meats, I can my own fruits and vegetables, I load my own ammo. And we had the last hurricane we have come through Houston. That's actually where I live out of Houston.
Sure.
My wife and I, after we were able to get out of the where we live, I live out in the woods. We went driving around. No food in the grocery stores.
Yeah.
We saw people waiting at gas stations, lines a mile long. They were literally fighting in the streets, waiting to see who was going to get the next gallon of gas. And I told my wife, I said, you know what? I said, honey, this is regional. Can you imagine this a nationwide?
Huh. Well, no, actually. No, I couldn't. Although I did live near Philadelphia once. Just kidding. Alexander in Weatherford, Texas. Welcome to the Wells Report. Hello.
Hey, JD. How you doing?
Good, Al. What's up?
All right. So a question about this whole thing going on, and I might even be very wrong here, but do store-bought batteries, are they still functional and attainable at this time?
Probably.
They're still functional?
Sure. Yeah, I don't think that an EMP would destroy batteries.
Okay, great. Because now, of course, going to church and praying, that's important right here, right now, just as much as it would be in the future.
Sure.
I'll be doing that, of course. Now, in my generation, probably 70% of them would probably agree with me. I'm going to try to collect every possible Game Boy I possibly can.
Yeah.
And it still work, and I can still use batteries, as you said. That right there is enough to suffice for my entertainment that I collected during this time of technology that we have now today.
Tiger Woods golf forever.
There you go. No, Tiger Woods golf, you got Pokemon, you got everything.
Sure,
man. You got it all.
exactly. Sure, exactly. And not only that, you probably feed yourself. Okay, so I'll give you half an hour if you give me a loaf of bread. So there you go. Yeah. See, now we're thinking here. 866-660-5759. Let me get to Steve in Rosser, Texas. Steve, hi.
Hey, man, I'm kind of like that other caller previous. I'm a prepper, too. So
yeah.
It's not going to faze me that much. What I would do is I'd take the Xbox, all the cell phones, the laptop, take it out in the backyard, and take my British Lee Enfield 303 and do some target practice. And then I'm coming back in the house. We're going to pop some popcorn. All four of my kids and my wife will sit around and play Yahtzee and go to the spot for a while.
Well, there you go. All right. Thanks very much. 866-660-5759. So we got some good tips there. So most people are basically preppers. There you have it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think what I would do is I would get my chaise lounge out in my front yard, and when the plasma event hit, I wouldn't even bother using sunscreen. I'd become a rock lobster. What? No? You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
Bill Bennett's Morning in America.
We asked for a contest. We said maybe to the tune of anything. Quickly to John. Hey, John.
I'll never sing on the air, that's for sure.
Okay, you and me both. Walk like a man as fast as you can. Walk like a man, don't whine. What used to be so large with Hillary in charge is now gone and withered on the vine.
Weekday mornings at 5, right before the Mark Davis Show at 7 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Presidential candidate Bernie Sanders is running as a socialist at the same time that socialist Venezuela is proving to the world again that socialism causes poverty and misery. Socialism is a failed policy. It's time we all learn that. This week we'll talk about that, the Iranian suicide pact, the Jeb Democrats, and the GOP attacks on conservatives. This is Debbie Georgatis, and ladies, can we talk? We talk truth about America and why it matters to you. Tune in every Sunday from 6 to 8 p.m. on 660 AM. The Answer.
This is Hugh Hewitt for townhall.com. The Colorado Springs Gazette has published a special report on the impact of marijuana legalization on the Centennial State, a special section called Clearing the Haze, piloted by their editorial page editor, Wayne Laugesen. The results are not pretty. Legal marijuana has not raised a penny for the schools, as was promised, but has instead created an enormous addiction problem among young Coloradans. The state has also attracted cross-country criminals, and indeed even the cartels that proponents had hoped would be set back by legalization. And thousands of marijuana establishments have sprung up that are poorly regulated, and the dope is particularly strong. In short, it's a public policy disaster. And it all remains very illegal under federal law. All that needs to happen is for a president and an attorney general to take note of the facts on the ground and act. Look for this issue to raise its head in the Republican presidential debates, and expect Colorado to try and find a way to put this very bad genie back in its bottle. I'm Hugh Hewitt.
Hi, I'm John Hill, founder of the Good Contractors List, and this is the Good Contractors List Word of the Month. I love a good, encouraging, positive message. But some days there just isn't enough times you can look in the mirror and say to yourself, this is going to be a great day. Some days are just not fun. On those days, you can focus on the problem and start telling yourself that things are never going to get better. Or you can say to yourself, I'm going to wait this storm out. The Bible talks about the armor of God in Ephesians 6. It says, therefore, put on the full armor of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And after you've done everything, to stand. Some days, all we can do is just stand there and face the evil day, knowing that the armor of God is enough. Submit yourself to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. I'm John Hill, founder of the Good Contractors List.
The word of the month has been brought to you by thegoodcontractorslist.com.
Hey everybody, Mark Davis for my friends at Viascan of Las Colinas. We're always concerned about heart disease and cancer, and we should be. You ever hear those stories about the first sign that somebody had of heart problems when they died of a heart attack? The first evidence of any kind of cancer was after it was too big to be operable. Early detection is everything. Information is power, and honestly, sometimes information is survival. This is what Viascan of Las Colinas is all about. Viascan of Las Colinas. My friend John Duncan and the gang with the body scan, the well-view scan, they call it, all the vital organs there between the shoulder and the pelvis, making sure there's no heart plaques or blockages, no little cancer spots that could rise up and take you down. This is affordable, preventive healthcare. It is not uncomfortable. It is not claustrophobic. It's fantastic. I love it, and I love the information. It's good to know what's going on inside your body. Be Viascan certain. 972-739-2840, 972-739-2840, or just Google Viascan.
Hi, this is Jon-David Wells from the Wells Report with Walt Parker here from InvestingMakesMeSick.com. Walt, I was looking at your new website. I've got to admit, I'm impressed.
We keep telling people there's more to investing than just stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and annuities. Our new website is full of information about these alternative investments. You need to understand your investments. We also provide our We Come to You service and spend the time necessary to help people know they have other options than just stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and annuities. Website is great, but nothing beats a face-to-face discussion to help you with your investment decisions.
Most people say they listen to your ads for 2 years before calling. Don't wait 2 years. Call Walt right now, 972-463-3833. That's 972-463-3833, or visit their new website at investingmakesmesick.com. All investments involve risk. Investments may be considered speculative and incur substantial fees and expenses borne by the investor. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Titan Securities. InvestingMakesMeSick.com and Titan Securities are not affiliated.
You can listen on the go. Find us on iHeartRadio, 660 AM. The Answer. Now, a Texas radio tradition, the Friday Flameout on the Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
It's the Friday Flameout, your opportunity to whine, moan, groan, complain, gripe, grouse, express your extreme displeasure with whatever it is that drove you the craziest this week, up to and including anything I may have said. I, your helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverend announcer. I am waiting for your call, 866-660-5759, 234. I'm going to have to figure out how to add more stuff to that. I just don't have enough. I've got more to say. I've just got to put more in it. 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. So let me ask you a question. If somebody is borrowing my stuff, if someone's borrowing my stuff, in other words, you know, there are certain stylistic things I do on the radio. If somebody's borrowing some of those, should I call them out on it? This is somebody who's famous. If somebody famous is stealing your stuff, Do you tell them, or do you just sort of like say, hey, that's kind of cool? Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Should I just let that go? I should let it go, right? That would be the right thing to do. 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. What do you think, Vic? No. You leave it alone? Okay. All right. Okie dokie. It's the Friday Flameout. Once again, you have an opportunity to complain about anything you want to complain about. The reason that we do this is not because we like hearing people complain. That is not it at all. The reason we do this is because we want people to be able to divest themselves of whatever vexation is currently they're dealing with. Whatever it is that bugs you, your frustrations. So say, for example, I mean, this has been a terrible week. I had a terrible week last week. This Planned Parenthood thing is like, you know, I guess that would be my Friday Flameout to start with today. I want everybody in the Friday Flame. I want everybody in Planned Parenthood. I want everybody in Planned Parenthood to either go to jail if it's appropriate, or walk away from society in shame if that's appropriate. Whatever it takes to get them out of my life forever. That's what I want them to do. I think they're flipping monsters. I think they're just inhuman thugs. And I don't want to ever have to deal with them again. And I've had to deal with them for 2 weeks. I've had to watch the videos. I've had to watch the monstrous evil of all of it. I mean, I'm not somebody that rails when it comes to like morality. But how do you not when it comes to the destruction of babies for parts? Did you ever think that you would live in a country where part of the national dialogue would be whether or not an organization that parted out little kids should be allowed to continue operating with federal money? I never thought I'd ever live in a country like that. It's a stain on all of us. It is a stain on all of us that we live in this country. Forensically, I suppose you can go back to Roe v. Wade, and you can work your way forward and see things getting further and further and further out of hand. Until eventually we had until we finally had Kermit Gosnell. And now we've got all these people from STEM Express and all these people that are parting out kids. It's just awful. I want all those people to retire. I want them to stop. I want them to stop doing this. I want whatever responsible laws that can be written and passed the quickest to be passed as quickly as possible to stop all this. I want those people to go to jail if they are indeed. I want them to go to jail if that's what they deserve, and if that's what a jury of their peers thinks is the right thing to do. I want them to be distanced from society for some length of time. So that's my Friday Flameout. That's what's been bugging me for the last 2 weeks. 866-660-5759. There's some other things. Let's see. Iran is on the brink of a nuclear weapon, which is why the U.S. Navy is going to pull the only aircraft carrier in the Persian Gulf this fall for the first time in years. President Obama, his nominee to be the Navy's top officer, told Capitol Hill lawmakers yesterday. The gap in the Gulf, expected to last 2 months, would come at a time when the U.S. is not only launching sustained airstrikes against nearby Islamic State targets, but also trying to keep a check on Iranian aggression in the region. Under questioning by Senator John McCain at his nominating hearing to be the chief of naval operations, Admiral John Richardson acknowledged the Navy would pull the carrier and said that hurts U.S. capability in the region. Without the carrier, there will be a decrement in our capability there. Currently, the USS Teddy Roosevelt, the Stick, is stationed there. Fox News is told that when she departs the area sometime this fall, the U.S. military may rely on a French aircraft carrier. Don't know whether it would be Foch or whatever aircraft carrier they have. The Stick has been busy since arriving in the Fifth Fleet, the Navy's command over the Persian Gulf and surrounding area in the Middle East. I don't know which. I think it's going to be the Reagan. I think the Ronald Reagan is going to take its place. I'm not sure. It could be the George W. Bush. I don't know. One of those two will take care of it. But anyway, yeah, just in time for a nuclear weapon excursion by Iran, we're going to stop being able to project power for a couple of months in the fall of this year. There you go. The dumbest thing in the history of Florida happened the other day. A viral video showed a Florida man receiving a warning for allowing the smell of his barbecue to leave his property. You know those idiots that got rid of smoking for everyone? You know those complete morons that started out with a small section in one California restaurant and turned it into a nationwide movement? So pervasive is this nationwide movement of oppression that what they're trying to do at this particular moment is they're trying to make it impossible for you to smoke in your own house. Scotty Jordan uploaded a video to Facebook that says Pinellas County environmental specialist Joe Graham issued a warning for violating the county's air quality law. The video, which had been watched over 4 million times, shows Graham telling Jordan there's too much smoke coming from his commercial-grade grill. I just took 3 pictures of smoke. I can smell it again right now. You're allowed to have it smell on your property, so that doesn't count. But when I'm on the street, that's when it counts. Jordan was laughing in the video as the specialist continued to explain the problem. Is that against the law? Graham proceeds to pull out his handbook, informs the man that neighbors are allowed to call in if they have concerns about barbecue smoke. Pinellas County has a 24-hour hotline for residents to call in emergency air quality complaints. According to the ordinance, commercial barbecue cookers are not exempt from causing a nuisance odor. If a sufficient number of complaints representing different households are reported and an inspector witnesses the problem, they can issue a warning letter. The 2 men that were having the barbecue just continued to laugh, probably because they were high on beer. So everyone in the whole world can cook out except for me? Graham says that in order to avoid getting a warning letter, you should check out the wind patterns before starting to barbecue, or upgrade their equipment to a newer model designed to curtail smoke and odors. Graham's friend, who videotaped the entire scene, said, "We don't control the wind. God does that." In an email obtained by Florida Politics, Pinellas County Administrator Mark Woodard says the inspector was responding to 15 smoke and odor grievances against Jordan's Grill since September of 2014. He said that Graham was merely sent to educate the resident. According to St. Peter's blog, no citation was issued. That's a good thing. If these dang idiots start coming after our barbecues, I'm going to have a tantrum. I'm telling you. So everybody knows, Jackie Mason is a funny guy. He's also very Jewish and enjoys being Jewish. He likes telling people like me that I'm anti-Semitic when it's absolutely not true. Anyway, Jackie Mason is not happy with the Iranian nuclear deal. Yeah. He was sitting at a New York restaurant and he was going, this is a terrible deal for everybody, right? So speaking during an interview to air, I guess over the weekend on Aaron Klein Investigative Radio, that, by the way, is our sister station, New York's AM 970, The Answer, right? Jackie Mason, an outspoken advocate of Israel, will talk a little bit about how stupid it is that this deal go through, right? Mason said this. The real argument he made, I'm sure Obama said to them, listen, you can have the bomb quiet for a year and a half because you don't bomb for a year and a half, I'll be the big winner. Everyone will see I made a fantastic agreement. But if you bomb us after I leave, I could always say it's the other guy's fault because if not for him, this would have never happened. Then he said this. He said that New York restaurants face harsher inspections than the Iranians will. Yeah. New York restaurants will face stronger inspections than Iran will. Do you know the restaurants in New York? They have this inspection system. You can surprise any restaurant without notice. You can walk in and inspect them. So we're protected in this city from bad tuna. Bad tuna fish. We're not protected from a bomb, but we are protected from bad quality of tuna. I have had the privilege of talking with Jackie Mason. Gosh, he is so funny. Man, he's just so good. Let's see. There were some idiots out there in Missouri the other day. Sheriff Doug Rader of Stone County in the Ozarks said he was proud to announce that the decals on his department vehicles say, "In God we trust." Yeah. Very simple. And I'll state it for the record. I'm not offended. But yeah. There's a guy that's complaining about this, right? Very simple. I'll state for the record, I'm not offended that these decals exist. It's inappropriate to have them on government property. No voting required. It's a violation of church and state. You are showing preference to a religion. How is this such a mystery? Said Nathan Belden in a comment posted on the sheriff's Facebook page. Well, first of all, invoking God is not a religion. God is not a religion. God is a being, a creator. He is the beginning and the end. He's God. The forms that you use to worship God, those are religions. For those people that have a problem with "In God We Trust," I suggest that what they do is they get rid of all their money. Because it's on every piece of money in the American inventory. I'm just saying. 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. For some reason, these people are really screwed up. And, this is important. Because of "In God We Trust," they immediately, the people that are complaining say that means that we will only protect you if you're a Christian. Christianity doesn't have anything to do with God. God is not Christianity. Christianity is not God. Isn't it amazing that not only have we screwed up the separation of church and state, we have even screwed up the difference between God and church? How stupid. This is the Wells Report.
The Mark Davis Show.
Are we ready for Republican Debate Week? The days leading up to Thursday will be filled with who is in and who is out, but along the way, we'll keep track of who seems ready and who may not. Strategy, talking points, the issues they choose to put up front. I know what issues I'll have up front, the ones you want to talk about from the weekend. So it's our Monday show, and we're pleased to have you join us.
The Mark Davis Show, weekday mornings at 7, right before Mike Gallagher at 10 on 660 AM, The Answer.
This week on House Talk Today, we continue our Consumer Report series, Creating the Perfect Kitchen. This Saturday, Part 2, Define Your Style. countertops, cabinets, sinks, and flooring. Plus, the organic garden segment, and of course, your phone calls. So find a cool spot, tune in, and enjoy a little house talk today.
Tune in to House Talk today, tomorrow afternoon from 1 to 3 on 660 AM, The Answer.
Hello?
Hi, is this Amy?
Speaking.
This is Steve from LifeLock, calling about your response to the alert we sent for a credit application at a store in Portland.
Yes? That wasn't me. I'm in Tampa.
I understand. I'm going to work with you to help you resolve this, okay?
Thanks, Steve. I feel better already.
LifeLock detects threats to your finances, alerts you to danger, and helps restore your identity if anything's found. And with LifeLock Ultimate Plus, you get protection for your bank accounts, investments, even the equity in your home. Look, no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor transactions at every business, but LifeLock Ultimate Plus provides comprehensive identity theft protection. Visit LifeLock.com now and enter promo code AWARE or call and mention AWARE to save 10% on your LifeLock Ultimate Plus membership. Call 800-838-6010. 800-838-6010. 800-838-6010.
Hey folks, Dave Trainer of the Window Connection here. You know, I just did a great little job in South Lake, and believe it or not, the customer called me up 2 weeks later and said, Dave, I just can't believe that the house is twice as quiet. Did you know that your house could be twice as quiet? Did you know that you could actually not hear the lawnmower going outside? It was possible to not hear Harleys riding up and down your street. The right windows can be literally twice as quiet. By making a house twice as quiet and 4 times more energy efficient, it's like you've got a nice airtight little cave to live in. It is a truly wonderful, wonderful thing, and not many people get to experience that kind of quality of life. I'm Dave Trainer of the Window Connection. I would love to show you what a difference it could make. It's all the difference in the world just to be able to sit in a comfortable environment. There's just so much to be said for what replacement windows can do.
Call the Window Connection for an estimate at 972-620-1994. That's 972-620-1994. Or go online to thewindowconnection.net.
From Plano to Denton down to Louisville too. Huffine's has it. Also in McKinney, we'll prove it to you. Huffine's has it.
Mr. Ray Huffines.
We truly believe because we are family owned and family run, we go the extra mile for you at Huffines.
And now at both locations of family-owned and family-run Huffines Chevrolet in Plano and Louisville, we'll go the extra mile for you with our biggest July savings ever on every new Huffines Chevrolet car, truck, and SUV in stock. Plus, Huffines saves you even more with the highest cash rebates and lowest financing available and top dollar for your trade. In Plano, see Ray Huffines Chevrolet at Coit Road and Plano Parkway. And in Louisville, Huffines Chevrolet on I-35. For more, click to Huffines.net. Chevy, find new roads.
We are visiting our friend Chef Tom Fleming at Crossroads Diner. What do you have cooking today, Tom?
Let me ask you a question. Where you been getting your fried yardbird on lately? I know what you're thinking. Yeah, it's fried chicken. Well, at the diner, we do it a little bit different. Hand pounded, hand breaded, fried to order, and it comes with the best smooth, warm, creamy brie cheese. And then we top it with, oh my God, I can't even believe this, a tomato caper relish that is just out of this world. So if you've been eating fried yardbird somewhere else, come by the Crossroads Diner because my yardbird's the best.
Fresh ingredients sure to please any sophisticated palate and taste at affordable diner prices in a casual environment. Crossroads Diner. Come eat with us. We're off of Walnut Hill, just east of 75. Open for breakfast and lunch Tuesday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Or visit us on the web at crossroads-diner.com. Homestyle goodness meets traditional diner. Great recipes, fresh ingredients, comfortable environment, and genuine hospitality are the heart and soul of Crossroads Diner. We'll be waiting for you.
Dallas Fort Worth's home for stimulating talk. 660 AM, The Answer. You're hearing tomorrow's front page on the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. We have just a few more seconds left in the Friday Flameout for this week. 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. Before we leave today, we lost one of America's greatest musicians it was just brought to my attention by Mark that Vic Firth has died. If you go to my house, you would find a set of Slingerland drums, and beside my drums, so hanging on one of the floor tom-toms, you would find a stick holder filled with Vic Firth drumsticks. I've played Vic Firth drumsticks my whole life. I don't know that I've ever played anything else. Nylon tips, 5Bs. I practice with nylon tip 5Bs, and I play concerts with nylon tip 5As. Same stick, 5As are just a little lighter. Vic Firth was one of the greatest symphonic percussionists of all time, and a guy that left his mark and will have left his mark on percussion for the rest of all time. Vic Firth, dead at 85. The executive producer of The Wells Report is Vicky Stifer. Technical director, conductor of The Wells Report Orchestra is Magic Matt Swinney. My name's Jon-David Wells. Have a great weekend. See you Monday for another edition of The Wells Report.
The following message contains a special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to urinate? Well, you're not alone. Most men will experience these prostate-related issues in their lifetime. Right now, the manufacturer of GoFlow Prostate is sending out risk-free supplies to the listeners of this station. And since GoFlow was developed by renowned MD Dr. Mitchell Fleischer, its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce frequent nighttime bathroom trips and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait, because supplies are limited. Call 1-800-668-0074. That's 1-800-668-0074 to get your risk-free supply. GoFlow Prostate is guaranteed to reduce your frequent trips to the bathroom and promote healthy urine flow. Plus, if you call right now, you'll even get free shipping with your risk-free supply of GoFlow Prostate. Dial 1-800-667-5138. Don't delay. If the phones are busy, call back. 1-800-667-5138. 1-800-667-5138.
When the economy crashed in 2008, the Fed lowered interest rates. They've been